No, but your back, man. Your shoulders are starting.
Hi, everybody.
Jen's back's looking really
I'm
long.
getting molested like what?
Yeah. She's getting you little shoulder balls. Her shoulder
balls.
Yeah, getting a little bit of...
I have shoulder balls.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
yeah, you can't really see it there in the camera. You can see it from back here. Turn.
I can't. The chair is running into the shit. Well, what?
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
See it. You can kind of see it. Yeah, you can see it a little bit there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see anything.
This camera's not real high def, so it kind of
It's
like
not.
blurs. It kind of blurs the outline.
He's like spinning me around and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Well, hi everybody. Happy Friday. Here we are again. My favorite show of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I've already had half a drink, so
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, I should turn that fucking fan on, man.
I guess you can if you want to.
Yeah.
It does make a weird noise, but
It's hot though.
okay.
Okay. Now I'll give something Pookie to look at.
Okay.
Pookie walks in here and looks up at the fan. I'm going,
Yeah, she makes a face like,
what the fuck is that?
What is it?
Yeah. Why is it moving? Yeah.
I have a really funny picture of her. I don't know what happened to it, but where I turned the fan on and she made this face like she looked like an alien almost. She was like, like she made like this little
It
ET
was blowing on her?
like the ET face up in
It
it.
was blowing on her.
And I gotta look, either a photo or a video of it. It was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
But like those cats make like the funniest fucking expressions. I swear to God.
So today is Friday.
Yay!
And it's Sidetracks night, which is our open lines Friday, basically,
Yeah.
where we drink, and we drink with y'all,
Or
we
whatever
interact.
chemicals y'all are imbibing.
and we'll talk about any past cases or anything you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about it. If
Or
not,
mostly-
me and Jen will just start running,
Or mostly fun stuff.
or fun stuff. Talk about porn. We talk about anything.
Food, porn.
Yeah.
That's mostly what we talk
Sex.
about. Sex dolls. Phantom's asking us what the temperature is. What is the temperature today?
It was 78.
Yeah, it was pretty warm out. It was warm and sunny.
Yeah. Well, the car said it was 78 when I went to the store.
When you went to Dollar General?
Yeah.
You went to the DG.
78. It's almost 80.
Got some shrimpy shrimp.
Shrimpy shrimp. Shrimpy shrimp Temptations cat food.
Yeah.
And
Those cats go through so many treats, you guys.
a bunch
Oh
of
my
coffee,
God.
bunch of that Delight liquid coffee creamer.
We go through so much coffee
Yeah.
creamer also.
Reese's, we got the Reese's flavored, and then
That's pretty good,
and
actually.
wedding cake.
I haven't tried that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't had it. It's
I
good.
didn't want to be the first one to like break the seal to like
Yeah,
make it
wedding
lose
cake.
its virginity, but I just
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I still had some coffee left in the pot, but I was like, nah, I'll use one that's already open.
that shit's good for coffee, and it's good for iced coffee, and you don't need to add any sweetener. It's already sweet enough.
Yeah, you don't actually need
just
sugar.
add more creamer.
Because I have like a bunch of sweet and low that I haven't even used.
You don't need it. Yeah,
Because we buy those like flavored creamers all the time. We got the Kit Kat one.
yeah.
That one was pretty good. I mean, the peppermint mocha is my favorite, and they still have that. That's usually only get it around Christmas time, but
Yeah.
we still got it. Last time we went to Publix, they still had some.
I think they're making that a regular.
Maybe they're doing it year round because people bitched.
Yeah,
Me.
but you can pour just regular cold coffee like that left over in your pot that went cold. We save it, put it in the refrigerator up here.
Yeah, I have a big coffee jar.
Yeah, have it in a jar, and I'll pour it into another jar, pour ice over it, and then pour that creamer in there, and it's ready, instant.
Yeah, no sugar.
Better,
no nothing.
better than fucking Starbucks. Yeah,
I think the only flavor we got that wasn't... We got sugar cookie, that was good.
yeah.
What was the one that we got that wasn't... I remember we got one that was like okay, but not great.
Vanilla,
Well, I don't really like
There's
the
not
vanilla
much
ones
to them.
anyway, because they don't really taste like much of anything.
the caramel. Wasn't it caramel?
Yeah.
It was just
Oh,
like,
you know what?
caramel wasn't very good.
It's the caramel like of the International Delight one or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck we get. That one's okay. It's not my
Yeah.
favorite. I love caramel like in real life, but caramel flavored things like
Yeah.
caramel flavored creamer doesn't taste the same. We got, you know, Chobani that makes the yogurt.
Yeah.
Their yogurt is delicious, but they also make coffee creamer, and we got the caramel coffee creamer, and that was not good. I don't want to say it was vile. It wasn't that bad, but it tasted really weird.
Had a weird aftertaste.
Yeah, it had like a really weird aftertaste, and I'm like,
kind of-
yeah, let's not get that again. Like it was the caramel was very artificial tasting.
So say hi to everybody, Jen. See who's here. Do a roll call.
Hi to everybody, Jen. But hey, everybody, Phantom's here, Ben's here, Tammy's here, Michelle M is here, said watching from the elliptical.
Okay.
Tom, don't worry, I lifted weights first.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so that's what you told her to do, I guess.
Yeah.
American Military is here. Papa 77 is here. Mad Lynx is here.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. American Military 100 said, just learned that in the 1970s there were about 300 known active serial killers in the U.S. and over 250 in the 1980s. Yeah, and I'm not sure how many there are now, but I know it's not that many. And we've talked about maybe why the reasons for that are, but 70s, 80s was like heyday for the fucking serial killers.
Something weird, or it's like a backlash from the sexual revolution of the 60s. And then I think there's a bunch of fucking leaded gasoline.
All the leaded gasoline.
And lead being
paint.
burned. So I think there's a lot of lead poisoning going on, which lead makes people fucking, first of all, violent and unpredictable. And they do crazy shit. And I think if it got into a regular person, maybe they just get into fist fights. But if it got into a guy who was from a bad fucking gene pool, had multiple head injuries, and bad upbringing, that might encourage him to fucking be a serial killer, because lead poisoning will kind of reduce your fucking inhibitions.
Yeah, it kind
of
also
make you crazy too.
At your frontal lobes.
Yeah.
I mean, crime of all kinds actually started declining precipitously in the 90s.
Yeah.
And really hasn't.
Contrary to what people think.
There have been slight spikes since then, but it actually, I don't believe it's gone back to the levels that it was in the 70s
was
and 80s.
The highest. Yeah.
I think it was. Although I thought, and I could be totally wrong, somebody could look it up. I thought the height was 87, but I could be totally wrong about that.
You also have to look at like where they were happening per capita. You know, because like in some of the bigger cities, the city would have a pretty high murder rate, but it wasn't real high per capita. There was a big population there. You know what I mean? Some of them are going to be fucking up. Where the fucking highest crime rate per capita is where my family's from. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. But the population density is very, very low.
Yeah, so more people are doing shit.
More people are doing shit,
like as a percentage.
And
of
there was no real police in most. You know, the police can't patrol an area like that. There's a lot of woodland areas, and I know for sure. You know, and it wasn't just a lot of it was just fights, people shooting each other in fights. I know for a fact that they shot poachers regularly. The guy that lived across the street from me, he's dead now, so I could talk about him. When we were kids, he shot a fucking poacher, probably murder, but he got away with it because he was posted. That was his land. That was on his patch, and that guy was trespassing, and he had a gun. We just told the cops that he walked in there, and I asked him what he was doing on my land, and the dude pointed a gun at me, and I shot him. And they're like, okay, that's all we need to know.
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably
because there's no witnesses, and he was allowed to be on that land, and the other guy wasn't, and he was armed. Yeah. Poaching, yeah. That's predator shit, man. That's the way it is. That shit was common, to kill poachers. A lot of times they were never found. Drug trade stuff, but that is happening in small towns. Kind of like the Old West. Per capita was very high.
Yeah, because small towns is like fucking meth central nowadays.
Yeah, and there were drugs even back in the 70s and the 60s.
Well,
there were drugs going on, and people settled scores by fighting it out and shooting it out sometimes. And, like the place where my dad lived, Heidelberg, Mississippi, population 1,200 at its peak. Only had 2 cops, a day cop and a night cop. And he never patrolled. And, maybe if somebody died, they'd show up, but usually it was death by natural causes. And there was just no way to patrol an area like that, and when people got in trouble, they didn't call the police.
They just settled that their own selves.
Yeah, my dad and his stepdad got into a fight one time when my dad was 17. My dad pulled a gun on the stepdad, fucking started shooting in the ground in front of him, and while his stepdad was chasing him around a fucking car, my grandmother was fucking yelling out, "You stop! Put that gun down! You put that gun down!" He's going, I'm gonna kill you, and fucking the stepdad was an asshole. Yeah, fucking Bill Womack was his name. He was an ex-con and a fucking drunk. But he wasn't gonna allow him to, my dad wasn't gonna, my dad was like 16 or 17, wasn't gonna allow him to fucking beat his ass.
Yeah,
pull a gun on him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's weird because I think, like, you wouldn't think it, but cities, like, kind of off cities like St. Louis and stuff like that actually have super, super high, and like Cincinnati and stuff like that have like super, super high crime rates, like out of proportion, like for whatever reason. Like I said, you're always going to see higher crime and higher population density because that's just how percentages work. But you know, there's some cities that are like mid-sized cities or mid to large size cities that you wouldn't think about that have like way higher crime than you would think they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But shit, man. I've been working on my Faceless Villain, my new book that's gonna be just the year 2000, and I'm in September, and most of it's written. I'm just filling in like other ones that I forgot. You know what I mean, or that I left out. But you'd be alarmed at how many crimes I found in like fucking Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. Holy crap, that was a lot. Mad Link says, I watched the Vordelac, as per you're talking about it. It was cool. Didn't love the end or understand why they didn't know the father was one, but it was cool. I can't stop thinking about it. That was, like, actually a really cool flick, I thought.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, with the puppet and everything. I really liked that puppet. Then Phantom's talking about some movies that he watched. The OK Nudity edited out version of the 1982 Italian film Violence in a Women's Prison. Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, if the nudity's edited out, there's no reason why.
Well, I mean, you could probably find it somewhere else without it edited out. Phantom says, I'm definitely going to be doing a deep dive watch of 70s, 80s female prison films now. There were a lot of those, man. That was a whole subgenre. Yeah. That was a whole subgenre.
Yeah, that was those midnight movies and shit. They'd play them on fucking cable sometimes, or you just rent them.
Yeah, you had
on VHS. They were direct to VHS.
Yeah, you had the prison exploitation. You had the nun exploitation. You had the Nazi exploitation.
Prison exploitation. They had one with fucking Wendy O. Williams in it.
Yeah.
What was that one? Women's prison, something 6 or some shit like that.
I don't remember what that one was.
Girls' prison.
Yeah, there was a lot of prison movies. A lot of female prison movies, because that's apparently a lot of people's fetish. They're like, oh yeah, hot. Tammy says, Jenny, have you ever heard of the serial killer Scott Lee Kimball? I know that name, but I don't know anything about him. It's like he was killing people even as he was working as an FBI informant. He probably thought that provided him some cover, perhaps. Yeah. I'm going to write that down, though, because we might actually end up doing a show about him one of these days. If I can find a piece of paper that I haven't scribbled all over. I'm so old school, like just fucking writing all this shit on this paper. But I'm probably going to put up a review of it. I have a book review to go up first that this author sent to me. Actually, I had 2 that I have to do, but I did this one first because this book has been out a while, and this guy sent me one, but it's not coming out until the 25th, and I don't want to put it up until after it's out so people can get it. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know if it's good or not. But so I watched a movie today, the 1971 British film Fright with Susan George, which I'd actually been wanting to see for a while. I thought I'd already seen it, but when I watched it, I was like, yeah, I don't think I ever saw this. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like a precursor to When a Stranger Calls, like that kind of movie, like Babysitter in Peril, like at a remote house or whatever, but it came out like way before When a Stranger Calls or Halloween or even Black Christmas that actually came out like 3 years before that. I know Black Christmas isn't Babysitter in Peril, but you know what I mean. It's that kind of movie. It's not a slasher, really, but it's kind of like escaped lunatic sort of thing. But yeah, it was actually really good. So I'll probably be doing a review of that one of these days. It was on Amazon Prime. We might do... I looked, because we were talking about doing Companion. Yeah. It went down in price. It's only $10 now. Okay. So it was $20 last time we looked.
We'll see that.
So I was like, well, maybe we can watch that over the weekend because it's only $10 now. Yeah. Instead. Because I was like... Because Tom was like, well, it would cost us more than $20 to see at the movie theater. I was like, yeah, but $20, man, that's like a lot of money.
Was it a rental or was it to purchase?
That was a rental, $10. Yeah. It's $20 to buy it.
Okay, but now you can rent it for $10?
You can rent it for $9.99.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, maybe I'd be willing to pay that for it. But $20, I was kind of like, it's like, might as well own it for $20. You know what I'm saying? And let me see. Oracle is here.
Who's here?
Oracle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Mad Link says there's a Black Sabbath-y sludge heavy metal band called Church of Misery, and every song is named after and about a serial killer. And they'll probably never run out.
Yeah.
Although I kind of feel like that might be a little limiting. Maybe not. I mean, maybe not.
It's probably a concept band.
It's a concept, man. It's a concept.
Well, they all getting stuck in ruts. Look what happened to Iron Maiden. You can only write songs about books and movies and histories for so long. You know what I mean?
Well,
you
I mean,
paint
but,
yourself into a corner.
But I would submit that that's like a much broader.
Yeah.
Like, even if you were just, hey, we're a sci-fi concept band. I mean, that's a much broader range than just writing about serial killers, or just writing about Dungeons and Dragons. Or, you know what I mean?
What ended up happening is everything ended up being like a history or English lit fucking lesson. That's what ended up happening to Iron Maiden. It didn't really have much of a cool factor. Fucking, that's how Metallica topped them. Metallica would come at you something random.
We
can
can
fool you with shit.
We can write about songs about whatever we want.
Yeah, or just killing people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, American Military 100 said, I liked Fright. It was the original Babysitter in Peril film. Yeah, it was. That's what I mean. I was actually surprised at how, like, ahead of its time it was. Because it was so old. But I thought, I mean, the Maniac, I mean, granted, he was a lunatic, but I thought he kind of went a little over the top at the end. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay. I honestly like British movies from that era. There's something about them that's really appealing to me. Yeah, Phantom says Susan George was in Enter the Ninja and Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. Both really good films. Yeah, I remember both of those. She was in Straw Dogs also.
Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry. That sounds really familiar. What was that about?
I don't even remember what it was about. I saw it on cable like when I was
70s, wasn't it?
When I was a kid. Yeah.
70s or 80s?
Yeah.
70s, I think.
Mad Link says the first two Iron Maiden albums are the two best metal albums.
Yeah.
Bruce Dickinson made the whole thing goofy.
Look, fucking Killers was one of the best albums of metal albums, just period. The first Iron Maiden album was okay, but Killers was the best Iron Maiden album. Number of the Beast was just mostly filler. There was only one song on there that was like, didn't seem like filler, and that's Hallowed Be Thy Name. The rest of this shit was just filler. The Peace of Mind album, I liked it. The Power Slave album was fucking also. I would say the Power Slave album is probably the best album with Bruce Dickinson. Either that or Peace of Mind. Because there's Where Eagles Dare on that. Some of that shit on fucking Peace of Mind is fucking excellent. Some of it's kind of like, Sun and Steel, not really. There's a few misses on there.
Starting to drift into Anvil territory.
Not quite. No, they were never that bad. They were never that bad.
I don't know. I don't know a huge amount about Iron Maiden. But
the best one out of the fucking heavy genre, I would say probably for me overall, just be Slayer. Slayer was fucking consistently good.
Yeah, Tom likes Slayer.
They could just talk about. They could sing about anything. Sing about Jeffrey Dahmer in one song, and then they'll sing about fucking politics in the other one, and then they'll talk about Satan in another one. They were all over the place. I think half of them were from South America. Those guys. One of them was from Chile.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember I didn't know much of their music or anything like that. I just knew them because of how like all the Christian right would freak out about them. Because I remember reading that big. Wasn't there an article in like Spin or Rolling Stone or something like that where that crazy exorcist dude Bob Larson interviewed them on their tour bus?
Did they just kind of goof on him?
Well, from what I've read it in many, many years, but I kind of feel like they were at least trying to get across, look, it's just kind of a stage show. We don't really believe any of this shit or anything like that. But it seemed like when he wrote about it, he wanted to paint them in the worst possible light, obviously, because he had an agenda. Yeah. So that dude, man, I think he's dead now, but
I like Slayer. It was like speed metal mixed with punk rock. It kind of had a punk rock edge to it. There was just something about it. Kind of cool.
American Military asked me, do I think they'll ever ID the Zodiac?
I think they did.
Yeah, it's I guess they don't have 100%. They don't know 100%. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
That one family's pretty much convinced it was him.
I'm pretty sure.
Because he kind of admitted to it.
Yeah. Like I said, I Do I think they'll ever find definitive proof of it? I don't know. Maybe it would be unlikely after all this time, but I don't know. I never thought that they would catch D'Angelo either.
Yeah.
So
there's no DNA from him.
Actually, I never thought they'd catch Lisk, and they caught him.
Which one was Lisk?
Long Island serial killer, Humorman. We did a show about him a little while. That ogre looking motherfucker.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he the one that killed that girl in Las Vegas too? Ooh. He was traveling around.
I think he did, yeah.
Went to Las Vegas and picked up that blonde.
I think he did, yeah.
Out of the fucking casino, I think.
Yeah.
All they had found was their leg. They never
yeah,
found
because a lot of his victims were found like in pieces.
Yeah, they just found her leg.
You know, and some of them were not identified. Yeah. Like we did a show about Lisk like before he got caught, and then we did another show like after they ID'd him. But so I kind of feel like Zodiac is like the Mount Olympus or the Mount Everest, I guess, of like catching serial killers. So I would imagine there's like a lot of people working on it, but I don't know. After all this time, like I said, they don't have any DNA evidence or anything like that. So as far as I'm aware, I never heard anybody talking about that. But yeah, we did. What was that? Was that on Netflix or Amazon or whatever? That series that we saw about
him? About Liz?
Yeah, no, about Zodiac. Didn't we just watch that not too long ago?
Yeah.
And they were pretty much like...
I don't remember which service it was on, though.
I don't remember what service it was like.
Yeah.
It's probably Amazon Prime. Or it might have been Hulu, to be honest with you. Or Max. Yeah, Papa 77 said Jack the Ripper is top of the hill. Yeah, that's true. But see, I don't know if they'll ever solve that because it was so long ago. Because every now and then somebody will come out with a book and be like, hey, it's this person. Hey, it's that person. I mean, I think they have it narrowed down to like the 2 or 3 people it probably is. But I don't know if they'll ever be able to definitively prove it. Papa 77 said Peacock, I think. It might, well, no, because we don't have that. So, unless there's something like affiliated, it had to be on either Hulu, Max, or Prime, or Netflix. Because those are the ones that we have. And Shudder, but obviously it's not on that. Let me see. Yeah, he's talking about, Madeline said, when I was 16 in 1981, I dropped the needle down on the first Maiden record I bought solely based on the album cover.
Yeah.
And the song was Prowler, and my mind is still blown.
Yeah, yeah. That was the first song you heard if you got the first album. But what about Twilight Zone, though? That was a fucking great song on there. Fucking in Transylvania, which was this fucking instrumental. And you had Genghis Khan was an instrumental, too. What was the one I was thinking of? Murders in the Rue Morgue was on it, and fucking Phantom of the Opera. It was a pretty good album. It was a primitive album, but it had a lot of energy. It kind of had a punk rock kind of a fucking feel to it. And the company that signed them wanted them to fucking be more of a punk rock band. They didn't want to be a punk rock band. They were metal, but it did kind of have a punk rock feel to it. Kind of homemade. The second album was a lot better, though, man. Killers was fucking really good. Paul Di'Anno was fucking... He was at the fucking height of his vocal career, man.
It's funny how punks and metalheads didn't really like each other's music all that much.
Metal's too fancy.
Yeah, I guess so.
In that era, a lot of the metal guys were actually kind of looking more like bands like Deep Purple.
Right. Which is exactly what punk was railing against.
Deep Purple.
Because they wanted music that anyone could make.
Right.
It was very democratizing.
They'd go to some Pink Floyd influences and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about who Jack the Ripper might be. Yeah, Oracle said, I think Jack the Ripper was the Butcher. And they're thinking it's maybe Kazminski. Yeah, I think most people think it was probably him. But... I don't know. I don't really know where I stand on it. I'm not entirely sure. Remember a long time ago we did a show about Jack the Ripper and like we talked about those 2 poisoners, Thomas Neal Cream and that other dude.
Yeah.
But like like that dude was a Ripper suspect too, and I'm just like, yeah, but the MO is like completely different.
There's no way to know anything. Those cases are too old.
That's what I'm saying. Like I kind of feel like Jack the Ripper Like I said, they can narrow it down to like 2 or 3 people that it probably is, and it's probably one of those. But I don't know if they'll ever be able to.
There's no evidence.
definitively
There's no
prove it.
forensic evidence.
Yeah.
No DNA. That's how you would know.
Yeah.
But they have nothing that would be
After all this time, that would still be viable.
No DNA.
Oh, American Military asked a good question. Ooh, this might be hard. In you guys' opinion, what is the best Stephen King book adaptation?
Oh, man.
My favorite film from a Stephen King book is The Shining. But since that's kind of different from the book,
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that count? I mean, I guess it still counts. Man, there have been a lot of shitty ones and a lot of mid ones, but man, there were a lot of good ones too. I mean, they made so many.
Some of the best ones weren't movies; they were miniseries. Like The Stand the Stand miniseries was pretty good. That was pretty close to the book. I think they changed very little.
Yeah, Misery, that was a great one. That was a great
Misery.
adaptation.
That was a good one.
And Oracle said my favorite would be Stand By Me. That is also a great movie. That's just a great movie like on its own. I think a lot of people don't realize that's based on a Stephen King story.
Firestarter was fun.
I don't love Firestarter.
Zone.
Dead Zone was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Cronenberg. Misery's great.
Yeah.
I have a big soft spot for Christine, the John Carpenter adaptation from
That one's got a lot
83.
of style.
Like, I really, really like that one.
Pretty close, yeah.
And I kind of feel like it's a little bit underrated.
I think a real enjoyable one was the long edit, or the director's cut of Dr. Sleep. I got it on Blu-ray, and I've never read the book though, but I just like that movie, the long version of it.
I will say that, and I think I've said this before, and I don't usually say this. There are rare exceptions. But the Dr. Sleep movie that Mike Flanagan directed, I liked it better than the book. I didn't love the book. The book
Yeah.
Dr. Sleep, because I read it. I have it.
We saw it in the theater, and then later on I bought it on Blu-ray. The theater edit, or the theater edit, was shorter, and they had edited it in a way to where it made the little black girl character be like, you were like, why is she in this movie? Well, they cut a lot of her out.
Yeah. I mean, she's a huge character, like in the book.
Right, yeah. So in the long edit, her character's a lot better, and the story's a lot better. It's more fleshed out. And it still has a good pace. It doesn't feel like it drags to me. And it gives you... Me watching that felt like... I felt like I was young reading a Stephen King novel. Back before I was in the Army.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. I went into the Stephen King mode, which most of those movies don't do that to me, except maybe the Stand miniseries does. I like the fucking Shining miniseries. Jenny hated it, but it's just like the book.
I'll give it that.
It's visually goofy. It looks stupid.
It is very goofy. Well, it was made for TV.
Made for TV, yeah.
And they didn't have... I mean, the actors in it are fine. Like, Rebecca De Mornay is in it, and the dude from Wings was in it. And they're fine, but they didn't have actors, like, of the caliber that were in the Stanley Kubrick version.
The special
effects. We just watched the Stanley Kubrick Shining, like, last week again.
Yeah. the special effects weren't any good in the...
Yeah, they were pretty shit.
Yeah.
They were pretty shit. And I didn't love the moving hedges, the animal hedges. I know that's how it is in the book, and they wanted it to be close to the book, but it just looked dorky on screen. Like I said, there's a reason why it was changed to a maze in the Kubrick version, because that's a lot more elegant. It doesn't look as stupid.
There might be a reissue of that and touched up so it looks better.
Maybe. They just kind of, I don't know, man.
They remastered the one of the Stand, and the Stand is great remastered. Somebody sent it to us, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I watched a little bit of it on YouTube, the original edit, or the original straight off CRT television recording of it. Man, this looks like shit. But the remaster, it looks great. It looks like a fucking film.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Phantom saying Night Flyer, Storm of the Century. Actually, Storm of the Century was much better than I was anticipating. That was the miniseries.
Dark Half wasn't bad.
Yeah, Dark Half, I would put that like in upper mid tier. Salem's Lot, says Hugo. The original one, the Toby Hooper one. That was a great adaptation.
I got that on Blu-ray, yeah.
Yeah, we've watched that multiple times.
Yeah, it's a long movie. That's a good thing about it. It's long.
Yeah, because it was like over two nights or 3 nights or something like that. Some people were saying Cujo. And American Military said, I asked because Netflix is remaking Cujo. I think in the book, the little boy dies. Yeah, I think he does too, if I remember. I haven't read that book in a long time, but I'm pretty sure the kid dies at the end. And I think like in the movie they were just kind of like, no, we can't have a cute little kid die at the end of the book. But Stephen King did not give a single fuck. He will run over a little baby with a semi.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He doesn't give a single shit about killing kids in his books.
What would really be cool is if they did a mini series of The Talisman with King and That'd be really good.
I would watch that. Like I said, I'm not as into his fantasy stuff. I liked Eyes of the Dragon, which was like a straight up like sword and sandal kind of fantasy.
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones kind of shit, sort of. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. So I liked The Talisman, but I didn't get as into it as I got like into his straight horror. And I never read the follow up to that, which I think was called The Black House.
Yeah.
That him and Peter, because I love Peter Straub, I do, yeah. And I feel like they should make more adaptations of his stuff too. I don't know why they don't.
Now, if they got the casting right and the direction right and the writing, I would love for them to do a series of the fucking Gunslinger, all the books. That'd be great, man.
I mean, that'd be a long ass series.
Do the whole Dark Tower. You'd have fucking 10 seasons, easily.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much material.
Yeah, and it has to be, to the book.
Yeah.
Which with CG you could do that now.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I kind of feel like nowadays, if I do really feel like, yeah, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the best movies came out in the 80s and blah, 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 but I do kind of feel like now, if people are going to take on a project like that, they do try to make it as close to the book as possible, or they try to, like, do it correctly. You know what I mean? They don't just, like, skimp because, well, we need to change this because of, because of this, that, and the other thing. Like, they do try to, like, make it good. It doesn't always work out.
Well, you'd need CG just to paint that world.
Yeah, you would.
Because one of the main characters is that the AI in that monorail train, remember?
Yeah.
And they finally get in that, and that thing was taking them places.
And Tammy says Dolores Claiborne is good. Yeah, I agree. That was also a really good adaptation. I don't think, I don't think we've ever reviewed that. And probably we should, because that's a great... honestly, I like his straight-up horror, but his psychological horror that doesn't even have any supernatural shit in it is, like, really, really good. Tammy says there's a good YouTube channel called Stephen King Book Club that's pretty good. Yeah, I just discovered that, like, 3 weeks ago.
I love that wig on you.
Yeah, I like this one too.
That cut looks great.
I like this one too. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get more like this with different colors.
Yeah.
Blue,
red.
Yeah, maybe get a red one.
Yeah.
John Gore said The Mist was nice. Yeah, The Mist was Mist was a really good adaptation.
Yeah. Even though they changed the ending.
They did, but even Stephen King was like, "Oh man, that was a better ending than I wrote."
I don't know. Stephen King left it open.
Yeah, I mean, if people are divided on... I kind of liked the cruelty of the ending. Because I liked that Frank Darabont kind of had the balls to go there.
But it precluded a sequel.
I know, but that's in a way, that's why I thought it would... That's why I liked it more. Because I was like, they weren't trying to sequel bait into, like, maybe we'll make another one.
Well, that's the way the story was written. Though.
I know it was. But I liked that Frank was just like, nope.
Yeah. In the movie,
everyone's dead.
In the movie, they shut down the portal, and the army comes in and clears up all the problems and kills the monsters. The good guys win.
Yeah.
But he killed his family and his friends because they thought that there was no hope.
Yeah.
In the book, they make it out of there, and the army never comes. They're just like trying to figure out how they're going to survive in this new world of this fucking fog and these monsters everywhere from another dimension. That was great. Because you could continue that shit.
Yeah.
It'd be like fucking The Walking Dead.
I didn't mind it in a story, like, you have an ambiguous ending, and you could be like, you could pick it back up. You could pick it back up if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You could just, like, imagine. The reader could imagine, like, where they wanted it to go next. But honestly, like I said, I kind of liked the finality.
Yeah.
Of Frank Darabont's ending.
I like the finality of the fucking King's ending, because it was like, no, man, the fucking fog took over the planet. Yeah. They never closed it down. They never could close the portal between the two dimensions.
They're like, oh, well, deal with it.
They ripped that hole and couldn't close it.
Yeah. Shouldn't have done it.
That shit spilled on over into here. Fucking huge monsters.
Oopsie. Phantom says, Silver Bullet is definitely my favorite. Which I wish there was a prequel film about Reverend Lowe and how he became a werewolf. Yeah, honestly, that was a good adaptation. It's fun. It's kind of goofy, but it's very 80s. But, man, Gary Busey is in it. Corey Haim is in it in a wheelchair. And it's just, like, it's a good time. And honestly, I like... Because it was a graphic novel, Cycle of the Werewolf. Stephen King didn't draw it, obviously, but he wrote the story. And, like, I don't remember the name of the artist that drew it. But I had it. I don't have it, but I got it out of the library when I was a kid, so I read that. But yeah, Oracle said the Talisman should only be done in a miniseries. You can't do it justice in feature film length. No. I kind of feel like a lot of his longer books are like that, especially something that has that much world building. You can't really...
Talisman would probably be at least 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, you'd think. Yeah, Tammy said The Long Walk would be a decent series also. Yeah, actually, that would make a good series, I think. And Phantom said Rose Red was great. Yeah, I recently... I think I put it over on my Scare Salon channel, but I recently did a rewatch on Rose Red and Storm of the Century. And, because they put them both on Hulu. I don't know if they're still on there or not.
People forget.
I had forgotten how good Rose Red was.
People forget that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Running Man was a Stephen King movie.
That's right.
It's nothing like the book, though.
No, not really. I mean, the concept is the same, but they changed a lot.
They changed everything.
They changed a lot.
And I used to like that movie, but watching it now, they cut all action and gore out of the movie. There's very little action in the movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. But
yeah, there's very little action in it. Something happens, and then when he kills the bad guys, they don't actually show it.
Yeah.
And the shit.
And you're like, it's a horror movie. That's what we paid to see. Goddamn it! Tear his head off.
Yeah, there wasn't much build up. They just meet, and then next thing you know, Arnold fucks him up, and you don't even really see him getting fucked up. You don't really know how he did it.
I think that was maybe the issue. I like The Running Man. I like the movie. It's a lot of fun. But I think the issue is by making Arnold Schwarzenegger the protagonist, you're kind of taking away all the suspense and the shit that was cool about the story, because in the story it was just like an everyman. Yeah. It wasn't some big hulking, powerful, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like who could just kick everybody's ass. It was just like a regular guy. So it was a lot more, there was a lot more at stake.
There were supposed to be longer fight scenes and gore, but they edited it out. They were trying to get a PG rating, I think.
Lame.
Yeah.
They even did that back in the 80s, you guys.
Yeah.
That's what happened. The first movie that popped in my mind that happened to was My Bloody Valentine in 1981. Man, they cut all the good shit out of that. Yeah. They put it back in now. It's back in now. They found it, but man, that was like super tame. And people were like, what is everybody talking about? And then they put it back in and they're like, oh, okay. Much better.
It was funny. When I was a kid, those things would come on in the middle of the night, you know, on the weekends, especially during the summer. And I go, oh, My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, I can watch that one. That was not too scary. I'd watch the scary ones anyway.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it had been cut up.
Yeah.
And then another one that I would watch, I would say, oh, yeah, that's a horror movie. That one's easy to watch, though. I'm not scared of that one. And it was Terror Train.
Yeah, that one's not all that scary.
No, that didn't have any gore in it. It didn't even hardly have any horror in it.
No.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, but it's not that scary.
Yeah. And then fucking Friday the 13th would come on, and I'd be like, oh, shit. I'm watching over the covers and shit. Oh, yeah. Titties, yeah.
Yay, titties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They fucked up the titties. Just fucking funny.
God damn it, Jason. It was Jason's mom in the first one. God damn it, Pamela Voorhees.
Well, I was watching fucking part 2 also.
Yeah, part 2. It was Jason. It was Baghead Jason.
Yeah. They had that one counselor walking out fucking skinny dipping in the fucking
with her shorts.
No, she didn't have shorts on.
No, I mean she was the one that had the shorts.
Yeah.
That's what
it was funny because back in those days, you know, me and my friends would be talking about, man, she must do some kind of sports or something. She's like a fitness model or something, you know. Look at her now, and she's just in good shape. She's nothing compared to what you'd see today, you know. But yeah, she was cute. She was pretty tight for the day. Because back in those days, normally, if they were going to show you some chick naked, she was probably going to be fucking super skinny.
Well, that was kind of all the rage.
Yeah.
Back then. And Tom was like,
yeah.
Too skinny. Although, free titties, so, you know.
Yep.
He had to weigh the fucking... Yeah, Tammy's talking about Shawshank Redemption. That was another great one, too. I think a lot of people didn't realize that was based on Stephen King, either.
Well, okay, then if you're going to go that route, I forgot all about the Green Mile.
Yeah,
that's
Green Mile.
excellent.
I mean, Shawshank Redemption is better than the Green Mile, but the Green Mile is great too.
Yeah, Green Mile.
Because that's not a straight up horror. It's just kind of supernatural.
Yeah.
What would they call that? Magical realism?
Yeah.
Like a drama? Ben says Maximum Overdrive was unique.
Yeah, fuck that one. I didn't like that one. That one and the one with the...
Stephen King directed it. Stephen King directed Maximum Overdrive famously and was coked out of his gourd.
Yeah.
And it shows. That movie's still a lot of fun though. It's terrible, but it's still a lot of fun. I honestly love the fucking Coke machine spitting the cans at the fucking... That like still cracks me up. This machine called me an asshole. That like makes me fun. Makes me laugh. It was a ATM.
Stephen King needs to stay writing books.
It's like stick to writing books, Steve. But he's good at that. Yeah, American Military said Stand By Me was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I never knew it was a King novella until I was older. Yeah, the novella is called The Body. I think that's why, because it was titled something different, so a lot of people didn't know. And American Military also says, I love Christine. Keith Gordon was phenomenal. I wish they weren't doing a remake. Yeah, honestly, I just feel like it doesn't get brought up along with like best Stephen King adaptations, but it's so fucking good. They didn't change that much from the book. Like, other than the LeBay character, like, they, you know, like, in the...
They fucked LeBay up.
Well, they just made it, like, the same guy. Like, he was... In the book, it was the same guy that had owned the car that was selling the car, but in the movie, they made it his brother.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can kind of see why they did that. Like, for storytelling purposes, I can kind of see why they did that. But the thing about it was that Keith Gordon in that was so fucking good. Like, he was just so... nerdy and geeky and stuff like that at the beginning, but like you still like related to him, like he was still likable. But then like the transition to just this like psychopathic greaser was totally believable.
Yeah,
like it was just like a really good...
I think it would have been better in the movie for LeBay. There'd be an old LeBay like it was in the book, meets the kid. What was his name again?
Arnie,
yeah, he meets Arnie. Because he did in the book.
Arnie
remember?
Cunningham. Yeah, why doesn't this say Cunningham?
Yeah.
I was just thinking
but
about that line the other day for some reason.
There was, because there was some... LeBay was, like, looking at him like, okay, yeah. And then when he sold the car off, LeBay went back into the house and died immediately.
Yeah.
And possessed that car. He was trying to possess him.
Yeah.
And in the book, I like the fact that Arnie would be driving around, and he'd look in the passenger seat, and there'd be an old rotten skeleton fucking talking to him with LeBay.
Yeah.
Talking, I think they did kind of show that once, didn't they? In the movie.
I think like briefly, skeleton? But it's like, honestly, I can kind of see why. I think visually, because we've talked about this before, like a lot of the shit that's in Stephen King's books that's cool in the book, because you're imagining it, if they actually showed it in a movie, you'd be like, that's dumb. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, okay, so, like The Shining, in the book, Danny sees Tony as like a floating kid, like he sees him. Yeah, like as an older kid, like a teenager. Yeah. Like floating and stuff. Now, in the miniseries that Stephen King wrote and Mick Garris directed, they show him like that, literally like he is in the movie, just like this geeky looking teenager like floating over there by the sign or whatever, and it looked dumb as hell. I think it's like way better. I think Kubrick made the right decision just making it like the kid almost like he was talking to himself with the finger and doing the different voice, and him saying it's like he's a little man that lives in my mouth and stuff like that. That was a lot creepier. That was a lot more ambiguous than just saying this floating kid over here. You know what I mean? Like I said, on the page it works because it's just in your head. You can picture it however you want to. But when they're putting it in front of your face, it just looks lame. I think it's much scarier if you leave shit to people's imagination.
I think it was the way it was filmed and the effects, and probably sound effects in the back would help and score. And I think it all just depends. You could have a rotten guy fucking riding with him.
Yeah.
But you maybe instead of it being solid, maybe it's slightly see-through.
And don't overdo it.
Yeah, or maybe it's more like kind of like something out of The Shining. Remember when Wendy goes in the fucking bar and there's fucking dead bodies in there, something like that.
But they just did that one time.
They did it one time.
And see, and I think that was like really effective because they didn't show ghosts and shit like that the whole time. It was just like that one time.
You're making me want to see the made-for-TV Shining again.
I remember
Tony being pretty good in the movie. I thought he was pretty cool in terms of the things he was doing.
Yeah.
Because remember, he was talking to Danny. He was like, Danny, we can't go to that place. He says that and he's, why can't we go there? And he goes, just believe me, we can't go to that place. He goes, aren't you going to tell me? And he goes, it says, I don't want to scare you,
Well, now you're scaring me even more.
That. Yeah. but he says, then it showed him. It showed him, I think, some stuff, but I forgot what it was. It showed him red rum. The red rum image. It showed him some other stuff. That the hotel was dangerous.
But see, I don't know. See, because like I said, we watched the Kubrick Shining just like last week or 2 weeks ago or something like that because we just felt like watching it again. And I just think it's so much better that all the stuff that's going on in the hotel is kind of like left largely ambiguous. Because like I said, that's what it would be if you were there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what was going on. You didn't know what the history was. You don't know who all these ghosts are or nothing like that. And I like, too, that they had Danny be like, well, Tony, like, tells him things, but he's like, sometimes I wake up and I can't remember, and it's like all this other, because he just has these kind of vague feelings or, like, recollections of, like, yeah, this is going to be bad or whatever, but he doesn't know exactly what. So I think that's, like, way better, because it's, like, just kind of builds up the spookiness without just over-explaining everything. Yeah. That was the problem that I had with the miniseries, is that in their devotion to making it as close to the book as possible, because that was the thing that King didn't like about Kubrick's adaptation, was he thought he changed too much from the source text. He's like, so I'm going to make an adaptation that's actually an adaptation of the novel, which is fair, but I'm just saying that he made it too explainy. It was too explainy. There was too much exposition. There was too much explaining of who this ghost was and who that. It just takes all the mystery out of it. Like, to me, the original Shining movie, the Kubrick one, is so much scarier because it doesn't explain shit. Yeah. It's generally much scarier if you don't explain shit. Not to a point where everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on? You can't go that far. Because then everybody will just be confused and be like, fuck this movie. But
Shining miniseries is on Amazon.
Yeah, but if you can get a gist of what's going on, like, enough to get invested in the story, then just leave it. Like, don't explain where the monster came from. Don't show it too much. Don't, you know what I mean? I don't like when they over-explain shit. It sucks all the scary right out of it. Yeah, Ben said, did anyone mention Salem's Lot yet? Yeah, I think somebody did. I really like that Tobe Hooper Salem's Lot adaptation.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, we watched that.
I can rent it for $5.99 on fucking Prime Video.
What, the Shining?
The Shining, the series, the television series. I want to give it a second chance. I think I've only seen it once.
I've seen it a couple times. Because I gave it a second chance because I'm like, well, I'll watch it again and see if I know. I was like,
nope.
You
get the Blu-ray for $21.
I was like, nope, still don't like it. Still don't like it. Phantom says, I'm watching Suspiria right now, and I don't get the hype for this film. I love Suspiria. It's actually one of my favorite films, but I get that it's not for everybody. It's kind of an acquired taste. Ben says, it's a Giallo. That gives it bonus points straight away. I would argue that it's not technically a Giallo. It's Giallo adjacent. Let's put it that way. It doesn't have... one, it's supernatural because it's witches. So... Giallo tend to be slashers in the sense that it's like a masked dude with a trench coat and gloves, like hacking women to death, and sometimes men too, depending. So it's usually like a murder mystery, and sometimes it's like a police procedural also, which Suspiria isn't really like that. So it has Giallo elements to it, but I don't think it's technically a Giallo. Zach says, I still can't believe I'm a few days away from being 2 years away from being 30.
Oh,
oh my god. You're a baby. You could be our child. You know
Gallant
that, right?
Fox is saying he'd like to see the 24 minutes that was cut out of Eyes Wide Shut.
Whatever happened to those 24 minutes?
That was an interesting movie. Decent Kubrick movie. He was trying to tell us something. That those rich people are up to some freaky shit.
Well, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're largely shielded from consequence.
Yep.
But like I said, everybody's known that forever, so it's not like any big, great revelation.
Rich people have access to hookers of any description. Yep.
You know what? I saw Eyes Wide Shut, because I've been a Kubrick fan for a long time. Ever since I first saw Clockwork Orange, which is still one of my favorite films of all time. And I saw Eyes Wide Shut in the theater, and I didn't love it. Like I said, I think
it grows on you.
The more I've seen it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
It's still not my favorite film of his by a long shot. In fact, it's probably my least favorite. But that's, I mean, all his shit is good, so that doesn't really say anything.
It has a certain tone to it, though, that I like. It does kind of have a weird, creepy tone in certain places. And Tom Cruise's character is a dick.
Yeah, he really is. But he's good at playing dicks.
Good at playing his dick.
Because he's probably like that in real
Look,
life.
Man, I want to defend Tom Cruise.
He says this all
I want to defend Tom Cruise.
Every time I say some sideways shit about Tom Cruise, he always says, I'm going to defend Tom Cruise.
I got to defend Tom Cruise.
We're
in the Short Guy Mafia. Okay?
Member of the fellow Short Man Mafia.
Yeah, he's a member of the Short Man Mafia. He's a movie star. I'm going to call him a movie. He's a movie star.
With the big, sparkly letters.
Yeah. Not only can he act, he can ride motorcycles, he can fly aircraft, he's good with a gun. He's got real training. Never served in the military, but he was in the fucking Scientology, you know. And
which is kind of the same.
That's kind of paramilitary in a way.
It's really not the
paramilitary cult.
They like to think it is, but it's really not the same.
Well, it might be worse. They fucking treat them, run them like, especially the Sea Org, they run them like slaves.
Not even like slaves, they are slaves.
They are slaves, yeah.
It's a cult.
Yeah. I think he fucking delivers, man. Fucking.
I will give him that.
He delivers. Fucking. He's had a few flops. Okay. The Mummy didn't go over too well, even though I kind of liked the movie.
I did not like it.
I had fun time. I had fun time with the movie.
I wish they had gone more horror with it. Why did they have to make it into an action movie?
I just see it for what it was. It's a large tentpole action movie. They were trying to do what Marvel was
but
doing.
they were trying to do Dark Universe. They were trying to do Universal Monsters. It's like, you don't have to turn anything into a big fucking action movie. That's dumb.
They fucked that up.
Make it a horror movie. I thought that's what they were going to do.
They were going for the big bucks.
I know.
To go for the big bucks, you got to dumb it down a lot.
Yeah, it's like everything doesn't have to be like a big Marvel movie. Let Marvel movies be Marvel movies.
When Top Gun 2 came out, it was an enjoyable movie. I liked it. They ripped off Star Wars at the end and everything. It was,
and they were shameless about it too. I'm like watching it going, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it didn't go in.
Are we really doing
this?
It
just impacted on the surface. Okay, fuck.
And I was like, come on now.
The Death Star.
Every single person just went, what?
Everybody knew what they were talking. Everybody knew what they were talking about.
Come on.
But I think the fucking some of his best movies were him as what's his name, Ethan Hunt from fucking Mission Impossible. I loved all those movies. Even the John Woo movie, which was cheesy as fuck, but that was real in style back when John Woo was that was in style, when that came out. And Collateral, wasn't it called Collateral?
Yeah,
the one where he played that assassin. Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I didn't. It took the first time I started watching it. Yeah, he should do more of that.
Right.
Because, like I said, I kind of have the feeling that he's playing what he's really like. So he's kind of just letting his inner asshole just come out to play.
He's arrogant.
And he's really good in that. When he's trying to be... See, okay, I think this is why I don't like him. Because when he's trying to be a sympathetic, relatable leading man, I'm just like, stop it, you dick.
Yeah.
Like, because you can sense that he's just this arrogant, kind of douchebaggy, kind of, you know what I mean? So when he's just letting that loose and playing that character and being a bad guy, he's much better. Much better.
I think his best role, his best performance, Lestat. Lestat.
He was great in Lestat. But Lestat's kind of a villain.
Yeah, Lestat is kind of a villain, and Lestat was a fucking egotistical fucking snot.
Yeah, which is that's right in his wheelhouse.
There he goes, man.
Right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and he played a very convincing Lestat, even though he didn't look the way Lestat was kind of described in the novels. If I remember correctly, Lestat was turned into a vampire when he was 16, wasn't he? 16 or 17?
I thought he was 18, but yeah, he was
They
young.
were teenagers, yeah.
Anne Rice said she wanted Rutger Hauer for the movie, but he was too old by the time they were making the movie.
Yeah.
But that's who she was picturing, she said, when she wrote... And I'm assuming Rutger Hauer from, like, Blade Runner. That's who she was picturing when she wrote the character. Although, no, because
she said when she saw the movie...
She wrote the book before Blade Runner came out, didn't she?
Yeah.
But she said that when she was thinking about a movie adaptation, she said that's who she was thinking. She's like, yeah, that's what he would be like. But like I said, Rutger Hauer was too old by the time they were making the movie.
And then he had another really good movie too that I liked.
You should probably see another one where he played kind of a dick, which was Magnolia, which is kind of a indie-ish drama, kind of.
Oh, I was gonna think of a good movie that he fucked up. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but he was just miscast in it. And that was Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
He did a good job. It was a good movie, but the thing is that Jack Reacher's basically Batman. He's fucking 6'5", 6'6".
The series on Amazon Prime is much better.
That's Jack Reacher, right? He's Jack
like
Reacher's
that dude playing Jack Reacher is good. Yeah, because he's big,
he's huge. Yeah.
Tall, muscular.
Yeah.
He's like exactly because I've read a couple of the books and I was like, that's who I was picturing, like that type of dude.
He's almost a cartoonish fucking superhero. He's just big, and he's kind of perfect in a way. You know, he never makes any mistakes. You know what I mean?
But he's kind of. But the thing that's cool about the Amazon, and I think they put the new seasons up, but we haven't watched it yet. Yeah. But we watched the first season and it was like that was fucking great. And like I love that. I can't remember the actor's name. Like I know it. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. But man, he's great. Like he's just this big hulking, but he's still like so sympathetic.
Yeah.
Even though he just like kills so many people.
What's that guy? John Burnham. He did the fucking Punisher.
So many people.
I think he
Bernthal.
did Bernthal. That's right. I think he did good in the Daredevil series. But I watched a couple episodes of the Punisher series. I just found it boring. And he doesn't have the physicality. The dude that plays Jack Reacher would more be like fucking Frank Castle with the Punisher. He's like that.
And I'm not sure if the actor that plays Jack Reacher on the Amazon Prime series, if he's really that tall or if they're just shooting him to look that big.
Probably pretty big. I think he's
like he doesn't
big.
look freakishly big, but he's considerably taller and bigger than everybody else is.
If you could take that actor and get him to basically play that same character, but fucking he's mean, okay?
Yeah.
That's the fucking Punisher. The Punisher was not a hero. He was wasn't really a superhero. He was kind of an anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero, yeah.
And I liked how in the Daredevil fucking series, they explained why he had a skull on his shirt. That was his X-rays from his head injury, which that was his superpower.
Yeah,
was that head injury. I've had them. I know
it was like
about.
Tom knows how that goes.
I know exactly what that is. That's your superpower.
That's why he related.
The ability to just be stupid as fuck, just dangerous. Just let it cut loose, and that's what he's doing. Yeah. Fucking, I thought he was great in the Daredevil series, but man, they toned that character down so much for his own series. They made him real tame. They tried to turn him into a hero. And that's...
Yeah, I guess they were trying to do this along the same lines as the other ones, but it's just kind of like, he's not really the same as the other ones.
He's similar to Batman. He's dark.
Yeah.
Except Batman really wasn't going out of his way to kill people. Frank Castle was.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of those Marvel series were really good. Like, I really liked Luke Cage. I really liked Jessica Jones. I really liked Daredevil.
Yeah.
Luke Cage was real good. Iron Fist sucked, but
Jones was good. Jessica Jones was good.
I really liked Jessica Jones, and like I said, and Luke Cage was really good too, and Daredevil was really good.
The television series and the fucking movies started to go downhill. That was the problem. The writing got bad. we've seen those Marvel movies in the theaters. We reviewed them, saw them in theater when they were coming out, and I characterize them as this way. I was like, these are pretty good. They're visually they're pretty good, and when you're watching them, they're enjoyable at the time that you're watching them. But then when the movie's over, you forget everything about that movie. You forgot what you saw.
Yeah, it's just like a confection.
Yeah, well, I just broke it down to this. You know what? They're fucking dumb.
Yeah,
they're dumb.
They're trying to appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah, there's no substance to them. There's no.
And I mean,
superhero stories are morality tales.
I guess it works because they make $40 bajillion like every time one of them comes out.
They're flopping recently. The fucking new Captain America came out and it flopped. The fucking that one about the hunter, it flopped. They're starting to flop. Now the Deadpool movie and Wolverine, that did real well.
That did really well, but that looked funny as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, that movie has a little bit of character to it. The rest of them were just.
I mean, the Deadpool character is like pretty amusing. Yeah. I have to say.
There's not enough edge to them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of why people like the Deadpool character because he just doesn't give a fuck. It's just like completely fucking raunchy. But no, I was laughing at something.
And there's no way they're gonna save Star Wars unless they fucking reach down and just fucking grab a pair and get rid of everything that they fucking done after fucking Rogue One. Rogue One was decent. First couple seasons of fucking Mandalorian were good. They need to decanonize all that shit pretty much. And then come out with a damn hard PG or R-rated fucking Darth Vader series where he's the fucking main character in it. And it's a fucking horror movie. That would fucking
I would watch that.
Yeah, and it's fucking
I would
Vader.
Watch the shit out of that. Honestly.
Vader.
That'd be great.
Finding out that the Emperor killed Padme and used her soul to keep him alive, and he couldn't fucking get out from underneath the Emperor.
That'd be fantastic.
Because you just like in witchcraft, if you're going to save a life, you have to take a life.
Yeah. So
to save Vader's life, he had to take Padme's life, and he's feeding that soul to him slowly to keep him alive. That in a suit. Okay.
And it also helps that he kills her, so that feeds his rage and anger, which makes him more
and then he said,
powerful.
Then he lied to him and
side.
says, "You killed her in your anger." And then fucking now he's got a safety net. Vader can't kill him because then he'd die, because Palpatine's fucking or Darth Tyrannus or no Darth Sidious is fucking feeding him a little bit of life energy from Padme. So he's got to figure out how to get out from underneath that. So he goes on a quest to find these damn Sith ruins in these ancient places where there used to be temples and shit, temples to evil. He's trying to find this old information to find the teachings to get his own soul back, type of deal, to free himself from that situation. That'd be really cool. That way he could kill and overthrow the Emperor.
Yeah, I would watch that.
So that way it makes more sense later on when he tells Luke, "Look, I'm your father." And the Emperor's foreseen this shit. He's foreseen that you can overthrow him. Together we can fucking rule as father and son. So at that time, Vader must have had some kind of plan to get out from underneath his fucking spiritual servitude. See, Vader was basically the undead. He had died. Palpatine kept him from dying. That was what the fuck is. Could create life and could keep people from dying. But to keep somebody from dying, you got to kill somebody else. Nothing's for free. You can't keep somebody alive for free. That life energy has to be stolen from somebody else. That's why the robots couldn't figure out why Padme was dying. She said, "We don't know why, but she's dying."
Yeah.
Fucking the Emperor was killing her, stealing her soul.
Yeah, sucking all her life energy.
Yeah.
I was laughing at something Zach said a while back when we were saying that we were old enough to be his parents. He said, "If you guys were my parents, I'd probably be way less maladjusted than I am at the moment." He said, or at least I would be self-conscious about it.
You'd be all right.
Yeah. I don't know if we'd make great parents, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. We might do a good job, but it's too late now. We're too old, but you know what I mean. Had shit happen differently. I never wanted kids, though. So it's, when I was 13 or 14, I was like, nah, doesn't sound like something I ever want to do. No thanks. Let's see. Yeah, American Military 100 points out Stephen King's wife Tabitha influenced him to complete Carrie If she didn't believe in him, he might not have become famous. Yeah, I kind of feel like she does. I mean, they're very low key, I guess, and they've been together since forever. Like they met in college or something. She's an author too, but she hasn't written that many books. But yeah, I believe. I mean, the story goes. I don't know if this is lore or not, but evidently he wrote either the entire or the partial first draft of Carrie, and he thought it sucked and he threw it out. And his wife got it out of the trash and was like, what are you talking about? This is great. And she kind of like encouraged him to finish it or whatever, or, you know, edit it. And then he ended up getting like $400,000, like advance for that fucking novel, for a first novel in the 70s. That's an ungodly amount of money for a first novel in the 70s. Was it 400,000 or 450,000?
What?
That's how much the advance was on Carrie, Stephen King's first novel. And he threw it out. His wife fished it out of the trash. That's how the story goes. But yeah, because American Military was saying that he probably wouldn't be famous if she had, like, kicked him in the ass and be like, what are you talking about? Please publish this. You know what I mean? I haven't read Carrie in a long time. I remember being slightly rough around the edges, but it was actually like a really good book.
No, Phantom. I believe he did die. He wasn't just cut in half. He died. Because after he got burnt up and he's laying there on the side of that fucking hill, Obi-Wan walks off. And then later, you see fucking the Emperor and his fucking royal guard and some of his fucking occult people show up, and they got and they're looking for him. And he basically says, there he is. He's still alive. It's not too late. That's what he said. And he walks over to him and he kneels down and he puts his hand out, and then they cut away. He was dying, man, and he kept him from dying. So in a way, it was kind of like the undead. He was on the edge of death. He couldn't turn on his master because he would die if he did, though. Because his master was keeping him alive. That's why he told Luke. He says, "I cannot betray my master. You don't understand the power of the dark side." So he was being kept alive by Palpatine, and that suit helped. But it was mostly the fact that he was being fed that soul, stolen soul, and that fucking it checks out with everything you're going to find out about the occult and witchcraft. Is that nothing's for free, you know. You can't save somebody's life for nothing. You're gonna have to kill somebody to do that. So that's what that was all about. That's why the robots couldn't figure out why Padme was dying.
Can I turn the fan off? I'm freezing.
Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
Drinking all that cold drink, and I'm like sitting here with goosebumps on my arms.
Now
we can turn it back on in a minute if you want, but ooh, that's better.
Some guys are gonna write stuff in the extended universe and shit, and they might know Star Wars, but they don't know the occult. They don't know psychic abilities. And the fucking witchcraft and psychic abilities are the same thing. You're just seeing it through a different prism. That's why Sidious tells Vader, he says, after you've killed all the Jedi in the temple, then you'll be strong enough with the dark side to save Padme. So in other words, in order to save other people, you got to kill a bunch of you got to commit a lot of evil acts, and then you'll power up.
Yeah,
you know that's like right out of the. Jen writes all kinds of shit about witches and witchcraft. Isn't that something the witch would say?
Yeah, that's what
they're doing.
Yeah, it
says if you murder all those children, you sacrifice those children, then you can do this magic.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
What's their name? Tigglytoot. Have you guys done a review on Old Boy or I Saw the Devil? I think we've done both of those.
I don't know. I don't think we did Old Boy.
Yeah, because remember,
it's a good Korean movie.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Remember I had to order it from like far away?
Yeah. It was a while.
And it took like a while to get here.
Yeah.
I think we've done both of those. I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure I remember buying that. And I Saw the Devil. Here's the thing, like, I watched that movie by myself, like, several years ago. I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the best movies ever. It's, like, it's, for real, like, one of the best Korean, like, revenge horror. Like, actual, not even Korean. It's one of the best revenge horror flicks ever made. It's fucking great. And I kept, like, talking it up to Tom, and then, like, I saw it on with some streaming service or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, we have to review that. So I think we did review it at some point, because I did show it to him.
Oh,
it's so good.
They were talking about. They were saying no, that it was Darth Maul was cut. Yeah, Darth Maul was cut in half. Evidently, he survives it. He's in some of the animated stuff. I hated the fucking prequels, man, until these new Star Wars. And then all of a sudden, those prequels started to look a lot better. But my problem with the prequels is that the writing wasn't good enough. The way Anakin turned to the dark side wasn't good enough. All right, there were other opportunities to do all kinds of shit, but it would have probably ended up being an R-rated movie. Yeah, see, and that. Here's the thing. The way you get a good character turned to evil is to prove to that character that the dark side or evil is the way to go, that it's superior. All right, and the best way to do that is to trick them. The Emperor would fucking say that there's a Sith infiltrator in the fucking Jedi Order somewhere. There's Sith in here. There must be many of them. So you send Anakin out to fucking as an Inquisitor, trying to figure out who out of all these Jedi are the Sith. And he starts fucking he starts fucking fighting and killing some of these Jedi because he says, you're a Sith if you believe this and that. And then later, Palpatine says, you know all those Jedi that you killed? They weren't Sith, they were Jedi. You fell to the dark side because, you know what I mean? You were supposed to be their best, but you see how I fooled you? That kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking, and he says, my way is a superior way, you know? Fucking, you can't fight my way, fucking, and this is how we're going to do it. These guys don't deserve to exist. It's not nature's way. They're not in the natural order of things. The natural order is a hierarchy of fucking power, a power dynamic. Evil gives you the ability to lie. That's a fucking very tremendous power. You can lie and confuse people. And that would be the Sith's main weapon. And that goes back to fucking what Obi-Wan said. He said, you know, fucking, he tells Luke, he says, well, lies are the way of the dark side. Remember the exact line? He said he's twisted now, fucking twisted and evil. And then there was something about if you're on the dark side, you lie. That's a tactic. That's a superpower. Lie and confuse. So you'd have to somehow. So instead of all this stuff of, you know, killing Windu to save, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. And he instantly, okay, I'll do everything you say. It should have been a whole process where he realized that the dark side had these weird abilities, and that they were better, and that he needed them. That would have worked too.
Yeah, Old Restless says prequels still stink. I agree.
Yeah, they're not. They're not as bad as the sequels, though.
Man, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a tired fucking. I don't know.
Force Awakens, man, I thought you could do something with that. I was like, okay. But no, as soon as that fucking second one came out, fucking then the third one was kind of like trying to erase what happened in the second one. And then that's Palpatine's daughter now. Rey is Palpatine's daughter. So Luke and all those guys did all that shit for nothing? The dark side one, is that what it means? Palpatine's descendants are now, and then she's kind of like a Sith too. It just wasn't a good story. It wasn't well thought out because they were making it up as they were going along.
American Military said, what movie turned you on to horror? The first one I remember seeing, because I was into scary shit since birth, honestly. I remember, like, even being a little kid and just anything to do with Halloween or ghosts or witches or anything like that. As soon as I could read, all I wanted to read was ghost stories. And I learned to read, like, really young. But the first horror movie I remember seeing was Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which came out in 1972, which is the same year I was born. Obviously, I didn't see it then, but I was a little kid when I saw it. It scared the shit out of me. I don't know why. It's not scary at all. It's actually kind of more of a comedy. It's kind of zombies kind of. But yeah, I remember seeing that, and then I think maybe when I was 7 or 8, I saw the Amityville Horror. And that also scared the shit out of me. I mean, I was a little kid. But I wanted to... That was the thing, like, I kept going back to them. Like, I'd see them, and they'd scare the shit out of me and give me nightmares. But I'm like, yeah, but I kind of want to see it again. You know what I mean? But like I said, I liked scary shit from when I was really little. But those are the first two that I have clear memories of as a kid. And like I said, children shouldn't play with dead things. I built that movie up so much because I saw it when I was little, and it scared the crap out of me. And then I saw it, like, many years later. I'm like, what the fuck scared me about that? It's, like, not scary at all. It's, like, super, super low budget, and it's just, like I said, it's more funny than scary. But I don't think we've ever reviewed that, now that I think about it. It's kind of a fun movie. But, you know.
I forgot what I was going to say about... Tell them about fucking the prequels, though. The thing about fucking Darth Maul getting it cut in half, they should have never done that. All right. They should have kept Darth Maul for all 3 movies. He should have been killed in the 3rd movie. You should have thought he was the Sith Lord through the whole thing. Then you find out, no, he was the apprentice. They just... Fucking Lucas is a good idea man. He can't write dialogue. He doesn't know when to stop. He constantly tries to make something a kid's movie. He'd release characters just so he'd have more toys to fucking sell on the toy market. Yeah, that's all merchandising. That's all good, man. But the merchandising can't drive a story. You know what I mean? But by the time the prequels were coming out, he was very much a creature of the system, you know. He should have just stuck to telling a really tight story with a lot of good mythology in it. I think his attempt was good, but it could have been a lot better.
John Gora said, Kingdom of the Spiders scared the hell out of me as a kid.
I remember that one.
I remember, like, I actually kind of still like that movie, although I'm not a fan of the fact that they actually, like, squished actual
they were actually squishing the spiders.
And because they're like, fuck it, it's spiders. I'm like, stop.
Yeah, the dude that leased out all those spiders, they told him they weren't going to hurt any of those spiders.
They did, though. They killed them, but they ran them over with cars and smushed them with their shoes and all kind of stuff.
Yep.
And I was very upset. I had forgotten about that, and then I rewatched it recently to review it. Or I rewatched it because I think they did a riff tracks of it. And I was just like, man, that's not cool. It's just kind of like fucking when they did Food of the Gods and they killed all those rats.
I fucking saw Giant Spider Invasion. My dad took me to go see it when I was a little kid. How old would I have been?
When did Giant Spider Invasion come out?
I started fucking screaming so loud. My dad.
That was like early to mid 70s.
Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 or something. My dad had to take me out of the theater. That one fucking scared me.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, you look at it now, it's hilarious.
It's not scary in the least. Yeah. And it's one of my very favorite Mystery Science Theater episodes, though, because it's so fucking terrible.
Another one that scared the shit out of me was Piranha.
Now, Piranha is a legit good movie.
Yeah, fucking... As soon as this piranha started eating that dude's hand...
That scared the crap out of me, Sam.
Yeah. Fucking, I was like, like that. But it's okay, let's go.
I was like paranoid about... Well, I mean, Jaws also scared the shit out of me because I saw Jaws when I was pretty little.
Yeah.
And because my parents weren't... They were pretty freewheeling about... Because I liked scary shit, and they were like, it'll be all right. You know what I mean? They weren't worried about it. So I'd watch scary shit, and then I'd have a nightmare, and they'll be like, you're okay. It's just a movie. So... Jaws scared the shit out of me, so for a long time, like, even when I swam in a pool, I was just kind of like, is that a fucking shark? No, this is a fucking shark. And then when I saw Piranha, that was, like, even worse, if that could be it. I was, like, paranoid about piranhas for, like, my entire childhood. They made a sequel, they made a sequel, and then they made another sequel, which I think was called Piranha 3 Double D, because of 3D titties and stuff. Yeah. Which I don't think I've seen. But, like, yeah, I would argue that of all the Jaws ripoff movies, of which there were many, and obviously they weren't all sea creatures, because I would consider, like, Grizzly, that's a Jaws ripoff. It's just a bear instead of Jaws. But,
instead of a shark.
I think Piranha was legit one of the best, like, animal rampaging movies of the 70s. Yeah, and they had the little
two-legged piranha running around mutant, and they never explained that.
Maybe they did in the sequels.
There was a sequel? Okay.
There were 2 sequels, I think. There might have been more than that. What are you doing?
She's trying to fucking call attention to herself.
She's like,
Yeah.
little claws up on the chair.
First horror movie my dad took me to that I was able to stay through the whole thing and loved it was fucking Alien.
Yeah.
He took me to see Alien. When that shit came out, I'd have been about 10, I think. I fucking loved it. It scared the shit out of me, but I fucking loved it. I said, let's see it again. Yeah, we'll see it again.
Yeah.
Saw it like a couple times. That one, and then another one he fucking took me to see. He goes, oh, you got to see this one. He'd already saw it. He says, you got to see this one. It was The Thing.
Yeah.
Fucking, I loved that one. That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so your dad took you to see cool movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I also went by myself, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Flash Gordon by myself several times.
When did that come out? 78?
No, it wasn't 70s. I think it was 80s.
Oh, was it?
Might have been 81 or 80. 80, 81. I loved that one. It was like Star Wars, but it was sexier. I liked it. Yeah.
Phantom brought up Orca. I remember that one too. Kind of like Jaws, but with a killer whale.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty cheesy.
I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe that's another one we should review one of these days. John Gora said, children shouldn't play with dead things, has a funky charm all its own. Yeah, and that's the thing. I kind of feel like there's something in it that, like, I responded to. And the thing about it, too, was that when I was a kid, it wasn't just movies. Like, I was also really into, like, a lot of those old, like, horror anthology shows, like, from, like, Alfred Hitchcock Presents and that kind of stuff. Like, I watched that kind of stuff, too. And a lot of those were, like, pretty creepy. I liked anything scary. Like, if anything scary was on, I was all about that shit. Let me see. What?
First things that I saw that were scary were actually the fucking Twilight Zones.
Yeah, and Twilight Zone, yeah.
Those, yeah. I stayed home as a kid and watched those.
Some of those were, like, legit creepy.
Some were scary, yeah.
Were legit creepy. I've been over on my Scare Salon channel. I've been very slowly going through the Boris Karloff thriller series from the early 60s and Night Gallery from
some of those
70s.
Really scared me.
Some of those are pretty creepy.
What was the
too.
one about the evil boy that covered up the fucking monster? Then eventually it gets out and it eats him. Remember that one?
I don't remember.
I remember that when I was a kid. And I checked through the list, and you remembered it one time.
Yeah, I probably did.
I think it might have been a little girl. Mean little girl. She was being mean to this little monster. She buried it.
Yeah. Like in a cavern or something. Yeah, I reviewed that on the show.
Yeah, what was
on
the name
my
of that
show?
one?
Shit, what the fuck was
What was the moral to that tale?
I'm not entirely sure. I thought it was The Girl's Name was the name of the episode. Okay. But I could be totally wrong about that.
Yeah, she found a monster and was like abusing it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Eventually
the fuck? I don't think it didn't eat her. No, it didn't eat her. It didn't eat her, I don't think. If I remember correctly, because I'm pretty sure I've reviewed that one so far. I'd have to go back and look at my...
There was another one that scared me fucking from the night galleries where dude had air conditioning in his house in the 1800s. And he was afraid that called Cool Air. I think
that's based on a Lovecraft story.
Lovecraft, yeah. And then they find him next to the bed and he's all fucked up. That scared the shit out of him.
Yeah. He was keeping himself... Well, he was actually dead.
He was
keeping himself alive
with air conditioning.
With, like, cryogenic
air conditioning. It was air conditioning.
Yeah, was what it was, yeah.
Yeah, air conditioning.
But they didn't know what air conditioning was back
then. They
then.
didn't have air conditioning in the 1800s, yeah.
So it was like a big deal. So like, ooh, maybe you could prolong your life indefinitely if you were cold enough.
If you had some air conditioning. Right.
Which, you know, like I said, it's the same principle as cryogenics. It's just...
Yeah. Another one that was fucking weird was these two little boys that were playing around this old guy's shack, and he goes, "I'll tell you what, you go to that tree, and you go 6 paces, you dig,
yeah,
big surprise." And fucking they're digging and shit like that, and they find a box and open it up. And that old man comes in and goes, surprise! Yeah.
That was like a short segment.
Like real short.
On one of them. Yeah. That was John Carradine.
It
was John Carradine.
That's right.
Popping out the grave.
Yeah, surprise! Shit was traumatic, man. That shit was on television. We were hard back in the 70s.
John Carradine didn't even need any makeup or anything. He was just fucking creepy. John Carradine is one of those motherfuckers that like look like an old man when he was not an old man.
Yeah.
Because there's movies, because he would be in anything, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
He was in, like, fucking Coleman Francis movies, like, back in black and white days.
Was,
and, he looked like an old dude back then. Like, back in the fucking 50s.
I'd be a little kid back in the 70s, you know. Be about 9, 7, 8, 9. And I'd be at the house in California. In Long Beach. Daytime. Color television was a big wooden fucking appliance.
Like a cabinet.
It was like a cabinet.
It weighed
huge.
like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, and we had a good one. It had a remote.
Yeah, we had that. I know. We had the
And you
same
press the
one,
remote and the
probably.
knob would turn like that. So beyond there, and you'd hear that wah, blah, da, wah, blah, da, da, and all those twisted faces coming out of.
That's a great
the
intro.
night gallery. I go, oh shit!
I have the
this
whole
is some
series
scary
on.
shit.
I still have the whole series.
Yeah, I
on,
know.
dude.
I gotta go see them. I saw some of them.
We can watch some.
They
of
had the
them.
one with the witch.
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
I got them there right over there.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I've been reviewing them.
I didn't see as many of those as I did those Twilight.
There was
Zones.
only 2 seasons.
I saw all the Twilight Zones when I was a kid.
I've
I
seen
saw
all the
them.
Twilight Zones multiple times.
Yeah, when I
Well,
was a kid, I
honestly,
saw
for
them.
a while, Netflix had all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the whole series through
Yeah.
probably 2 times, like over a couple of year period.
Some of them fucking wigged me out like a little kid that could wish people into the cornfield.
Yeah.
He made the rest of the world just disappear except his town. He ran the
Yeah.
shit.
That little fucker.
Yeah.
Somebody should have taken that kid out.
Turned that one dude into a Jack-in-the-Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They remade that segment in Twilight Zone the movie.
Yeah, I heard.
And that's actually my favorite segment of that. I mean, the special effects work in that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I still remember. And fuck, man, still that shot of the camera panning down with that girl without a mouth.
Yeah.
That still freaks me out. That's
Yeah.
Sherry Curry from The Runaways, by the way. Fun fact.
The band?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. The 50s one, or in the 70s one, in the 80s one.
The all girl band that had Joan Jett in it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was her. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was a good series, man. And what I liked is that some of them were like funny.
Yeah.
Some of them were funny. Some of you never knew what it was going to be. And you could tell that a lot of the writers from the Twilight Zone ended up doing the old Star Trek.
Yeah.
That
Well, it
cool,
was
too.
this big pool of writers.
Yeah.
Because I recognized like a lot of the names. Because I was real into reading a lot of horror fiction from that era too, and a lot of them also published horror fiction like short stories and stuff. So it's like, so I would recognize most of the names. I had even read some of the short stories that they adapted for Night Gallery and Twilight Zone and stuff. I had read some of those stories, like without even knowing that it had been adapted. Like there was one that they did for Night Gallery. I'm pretty sure it was Night Gallery, A Death in the Family, and I had read that story as a kid. They changed it a lot, unfortunately. I think I talked about that because I did a video over on Scare Salon on this episode where this, because most of the Night Gallery episodes were more than one story. They were usually 2 stories, or sometimes they were a little short, like interstitial. I wasn't a big fan of, because sometimes they do 2 longer stories, and then they would do 2 kind of super short, like 5-minute stories that were kind of jokey, and I wasn't real into that. Like the one where the babysitter turns up and it's a vampire comes to the door and she's going to babysit a monster and it's going to eat her. And I'm just like, this is dumb. Like, why are you bothering? Like, why didn't you just make the longer stories like 5 minutes longer?
You reminded me of another Night Gallery I remembered from a kid. It's about a company. They wanted this old woman to sell her house so they could build a freeway or something through her house. Is that what it was? Do you remember?
I don't know. Just tell me more about it.
She didn't want to give up the house because she had this garden out in the back. And that's all she liked to do is run that garden. She had a green thumb. They got sick of her fucking holding out, and they sent an assassin down there. And I don't remember how he killed her, but before he killed her, she was burying something. And then he killed her. And later on, they go to fucking, like, to that house where she had buried something, and she had evidently buried her own thumb, and she grew another self, and she came out. And
I remember
she came
that
out,
one.
She killed him. Yeah,
I remember that one.
she had fucking plant leaves and shit coming out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it. I told you had a green thumb. That kind of, yeah.
So funny.
That's wild. I that's all I remember, and that's just very vaguely remember that.
That might be one, because I don't think I've gotten to that one yet. Mm-hmm. I've done all of season 1, and I can't remember what episode I'm on. I need to do another one, actually. I should look and see what episode is the next one that I have to do. The last one I did, it was season 2 episode. It was the one that had Messiah on Mott Street on it. It was two stories. It wasn't a horror story, really. But it did have the dude that was played Parker in Alien as essentially Jesus. So there's that. And then there was the one with Zsa Zsa Gabor about the mirror, like the antique mirror that went to like a dinosaur dimension. There was that one. I think that was the last one that I did, because I think I try to alternate between doing Thriller and Night Gallery. And like I said, I used to do 6 episodes at a time. I don't know why. I don't know why I had that stupid idea. But I was like, Jesus Christ, this is taking forever. Because, Night Gallery episodes and Thriller episodes are like an hour long. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm watching 6 hours worth of content. I'm like taking all these fucking notes and like writing this big long script and all this other kind of stuff. And then I'm just like, Jesus, I'm doing this video and it's like an hour and a half. And it's like, why am I doing this to myself? Why don't I just do 1 episode at a time like a normal person? And then we can just concentrate on that 1 episode and not like have this big daunting task ahead of me. So I've been doing 1 episode at a time. But I still have Thriller. I think it was only on for 2 seasons. I think it was 1960 and 1961. And I think there was a grand total of like, I wanted to say 37 episodes, but I think it was more than that. I thought it was, I don't remember how many it was. So I don't even like know what episode I'm on. And Thriller is usually all 1 story. The thing that's Thriller, though, I'm going to say a lot of the episodes, there are some that are more horror focused. Like they started getting more horror focused, but mostly they seem to tend toward like crime stories. And a lot of them are kind of like have a similar plot where somebody has like a wealthy relative that they're trying to bump off, like to get their money. So it does seem like that's a very recurring theme that shows up a lot of the shows. So some of them are better than others. They're not all like that, but a substantial percentage of the episodes are that general story. Whereas Night Gallery was kind of like all over the place because they just sourced stories from lots of different authors. Like Rod Serling wrote a lot of them too. And you can usually tell which ones he wrote because the dialogue is very flowery. That was kind of his thing. So it's like, even if I don't see the credits, I'm like, oh, I bet Rod Serling wrote this one. You know what I mean? Because of how the people talk. Like if they're not really talking like real people. But that's not a ding, because I really like his episodes too. But sometimes some of his tend to be a little bit on, I think I talked about this on one of my videos, but I can't remember what episode. I think it was the one about they're tearing down someone or other's bar. I can't remember the name of the bar, but it was they're tearing down somebody's bar. And Rod Serling, I believe, wrote that one too. And I think like a lot of male writers from this era, they had that very boomery, nostalgic kind of like, oh, shit's changing and they don't like it. And so they're always kind of like looking back to some idealized past, like in their childhood and everything. And they still kind of do that nowadays.
That's now.
Yeah, but they were doing that then too, because a lot of, even in the 70s, a lot of the episodes that he wrote had that energy to them. Like there was a certain kind of dude that, had become middle-aged at around this time, or, not even middle-aged, maybe in their 30s or 40s or whatever.
They aged faster then.
And that's true. And they're just kind of like, man, everything was so much cooler when I was a kid. And they're just like looking back nostalgically, like with rose-colored glasses and stuff. And I tend to not like anything that has that energy about it, because it just kind of irritates me. So a lot of the times, those kind of episodes, I think that was the problem that I had with that one particular episode that he wrote. And that actually, a lot of people liked that one because I think it won an Emmy or something like that. Like it won some kind of award. I liked it, but I just don't like... I think that we're supposed to feel sorry for the protagonist because he's like, man, this is my favorite bar and they're tearing it down to make something else or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, like shit changes, okay? It's just like, that's just the way the world works. It's always worked like that. Just accept it. You know what I mean? Yeah, some things were better in the past, but some things were shittier in the past too. It's just, you know what I mean? There's good shit now too. Like, don't let like wallowing in the past like blind you to good shit that's going on now, because which they kind of addressed a little bit in that episode, I will admit. But anytime, I don't know, it just reminds me of, if you guys have ever read the Jack Finney novel, I think it's called Time and Again. And they might have adapted that, I kind of feel like, into something. But he kind of had, it was like a dude, and he was like on a train, and the train like kind of went back in time to like his idealized childhood kind of thing. So it's like that kind of, it's almost like a whole little subgenre of like middle-aged boomer dudes reliving their golden years, I guess.
But if you're talking about
Tom Riley's bar. Thank you. That's what it was. I knew it was someone's bar. I couldn't remember his name.
This is on Twilight Zone?
That was Night Gallery.
Night Gallery. Because I don't even think they would have been boomers. They would have been fucking greatest generation.
Maybe. But it's a boomery mindset.
Because boomers weren't middle-aged and then.
That's true. But like we said, like people aged quicker back then, we noticed.
We were watching a program, Brandon. He was making fun of some movie.
Brandon Tenold, if you don't know. He's a Canadian YouTuber. He's great.
He's good.
Like he finds like some real obscure fucking.
Yeah,
he's a big MST fan.
He does great videos, and they're
also,
real funny.
Which is always a plus in my book.
Brandon Tenold on YouTube. We're giving a plug.
Not like he needs it, but you know.
He don't need it though. We've got 1 million followers. 1 million subscribers. Anyway, he was saying, and this guy right here, and talking about one of the characters, and they show a picture of him and shit. At the time, he was like, what, 38, 32?
Yeah, they said he was 37.
37. You look
and
at
I was
dude,
like,
you're like,
woo, that's a rough 37.
And dude looked 20 years older than me.
I still looked like a baby when I was 37.
Yeah.
You met me when I was 38.
When she was 38, she still looked like, and she was in her 20s.
And I still looked like a baby.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep. She had
like I look like an old bat now, but it's like just like 10, 15
you don't
years
look
ago.
like an old bat.
I know, I'm just being funny.
No, you're doing good.
But yeah, so man, I was like 37. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what did he do, man? I was like, I would have thought 57 easily.
I think a lot of it was
holy crap.
The clothes they wore and their mentality and their fashion sense. The fucked up hair that they wore. They'd wear fucked up hair when they had a bad hairline. Instead of just shaving their fucking head. Okay? They were in bad shape. They fucking smoked a lot of cigarettes. They drank a lot of fucking booze. And they ate a lot of bad food.
Yeah.
You know, really unhealthy food.
Fitness is for wussies.
Yeah. You work out? That's cheating.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing.
You should be a manly man like me and just lay around eating TV dinners.
Back in the 70s. See, that's the funny thing. I know we got some people that are into fitness and shit. Training. Back in the 70s, if you wore safety equipment on a motorcycle or anything, they thought you were fucking, oh, that's pussy shit. You know, even fucking Evel Knievel would barely wear a helmet. And then he'd fucking get into a fucking leather Elvis costume and jump all these fucking... And he said, somebody approached me once and said he could build me all kinds of armor that would, you know, body armor that would really protect me. And I was like, well, you know, where's the danger in that? You know, he wouldn't wear it.
Well, I mean, in his defense, like, yeah, that is a stupid thing. But in his defense, everybody that was paying to see him were like, we want to see him get fucked up. Yeah, and he knew that to some degree. He's like, if I have a bunch of safety equipment on, then no one's going to come see me because they're like, he's got all the safety equipment.
You'd still get fucked up, but you would probably...
Well, you would, but you wouldn't, you know. I kind of feel like a lot of people that go and see stunt people like that, I kind of feel like a little bit they want to see that dude die.
Well,
if
not
we're
only did
being
they have
honest.
that attitude, they thought if you fucking worked out and lifted weights, that was fucking cheating. A real man whipped another man's real ass. A real man was supposed to whip another man's ass just on pure machismo alone. Which I don't.
Just I got man fumes.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna beat your ass with man.
The thinking then was, well, I'll just get mad. You've never seen a mad dude get his ass whipped? Getting mad, that doesn't mean anything, man.
Not really. Not if the other dude is twice your size.
You can be a man as a motherfucker. You're not getting...
The other dude's like, will just calmly go...
Boom, boom. You know, fucking, he's twice as strong, 3 times as strong with you as you. That's getting mad does nothing. You're just gonna be You're just gonna get fucked
he's
up.
He's gonna put his hand in, and you'll just be like that, like it hitting at nothing.
Yeah.
Just like in a cartoon.
Yeah. Getting mad doesn't work. You gotta be stronger. Fucking funny.
It is very funny.
But no, they thought that back then.
They did.
So working out was cheating.
Well, if you're gonna go that route, like anything's cheating.
Yeah, everything's cheating.
Shaving is cheating. Showering, wiping your ass.
That's cheating.
Wearing makeup is cheating.
Look, here's
everything's cheating.
Here's the thing. That's why I say I don't give a shit about injecting testosterone or injecting fucking steroids and shit. You gotta fucking work out if you're gonna build muscle mass and get bigger. When you're older, you're just not gonna be able to do it on normal fucking metabolism. You're gonna need fucking testosterone.
That's just how bodies.
That's how nature is. When your hormones are right, then yeah, your body will respond to the training. And you know, fucking, I'm stronger now than I was in my 20s. You know, I could go back in time and whip my 20-year-old ass. You know, and I was a fucking paratrooper. Yes. So you know, well, they in the 70s, those dudes would have said I was fucking cheating for fucking working out, for taking fucking steroids and hormones. Then you're really fucking cheating. But they also would have. But here's some other shit that they don't consider. If I'm eating high protein, nothing but just meat and lots of meat, more meat you could catch in the wild back in the ancient days, that's cheating too.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going that route, like everything's cheating.
Everything would be cheating.
Indoor plumbing is cheating.
Yeah, because none of that shit was actually natural.
What, go live in a fucking cave then if you don't want to cheat.
Yeah.
Wipe your ass with a pine cone.
What I eat on a daily basis could not be done in the Bronze Age. It could barely be done in the fucking 1800s. They couldn't get the amount of protein that I get.
I mean, They
couldn't get the amount of sleep that I get, because I sleep a lot. And sleeping is where all that growth's coming from.
Here's what I figure.
Yeah.
Human beings throughout the millennia have worked very hard to make life better for other human beings.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like we should appreciate their effort.
Yeah.
Good for them.
By the same reasoning, when you get old and your teeth fall out, if you put false teeth in there, then you're fucking cheating. You're supposed to be toothless.
That's what I mean. Well, here's the thing.
When you get sick, going to the doctor, that's cheating.
That's also cheating.
That's cheating. You're supposed to die.
Let God fix it.
You're supposed to be dying. Yeah.
Let God fix it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, if you get some now easily preventable disease.
Yeah.
Like, well, guess you just die then.
Yeah.
Because it's cheating to go get that fixed. So, like I said, that's a stupid mentality.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you see that sometimes with, you know, so when we talk about, like, the incel community and stuff like that, they always talk about, like, women being deceptive, like, for wearing makeup and doing shit like that. And I was just kind of like, that's kind of along the same lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cheating.
I mean...
It's not cheating because this is what I've realized. Once I fucking got into the U.S. Army infantry, I realized that cheating didn't exist. Okay. Everything was in the rules. Yeah. All the fighting we were training for had nothing to do with fighting fair. It was all fighting dirty. You're attacking the enemy when they're when they're at their weakest, and when they're, you know, when they're asleep, you know, using weapons they can't counter like artillery, you know, it's warfare actually is not fair at all. All right. It's first degree mass murder, you know, because you take less casualties when you do that. And your job as an army is to fucking annihilate the enemy and take no casualties at all. So you win. Winning, winning, winning. If you fight fair, you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
But see, what I was going to say, along the same lines of not winning, is that incels will piss and moan about women wearing makeup being deceptive, but God forbid you take a picture of yourself without any makeup and put that on Instagram or whatever, then they'll come on there calling you an ugly troll and all this other kind of stuff. So like I said, you can't win either way. So it's like, just fucking do what you want to do. Because people are going to piss and moan at you that don't even know you.
You just you adapt the mindset that nothing is cheating.
No
that
matter
everything
what.
is legal, that it's all in the rules.
So just do what you fucking want.
Just do whatever you want. Whatever you could do, do
like
it.
I said, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? I'm
to go to the store, I get in a car and drive to it. In the 1800s, they said that'd be cheating. You're supposed to walk or run or ride a horse.
That's what I mean. Like I said, if you're gonna go down that route, you can go like to absurd lengths.
Yeah.
Of
it's
all the shit that's
out.
cheating.
You turn that AC off. That's cheating.
Yeah. Holy crap, man. My ex-husband used to try to save money by turning that air off.
It's not. You don't save enough to be worth.
It's really not worth it.
Not worth the suffering.
Well, because that's what I told him. I'm like, bro, like I've lived in Florida my whole life. Okay.
Yeah.
If you turn the air off during the day and then turn it back on when you get home from work, then it takes way more energy for the air to come back and like, because the house has gotten hot while the AC was off. So for it to cool down the house, it's much, much more efficient to just keep it at a steady temperature all the time. Yeah. Much more efficient.
Gutter girl saying that's right. I don't know what you're talking. What's right?
Guitar girl.
Guitar girl. Yeah, guitar girl. You got to have context in your comments because she just said, Tom, you're right, but I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to.
Phantom says Dunkin' Donuts should recycle their stale donuts into bread pudding, in my opinion, instead of wasting the end of the day donuts. We saw a video the other day because Tom has all these like cute animal videos like on his, and he's just like, look at this animal doing this. And there was was it a Dunkin' Donuts?
I don't know.
It might have been a Dunkin' Donuts or it might have been another donut shop. And apparently there's a raccoon that lives around there and has realized that if you go in the drive-thru, you get donuts. Yeah, so he's like, I wonder if I go to the drive-thru, will I get a donut? Yeah. So he walks up to the drive-thru.
It's like that. Yeah, and they give him a donut.
And they give him a donut.
And the cars stopped. So he could get a donut.
I was like, please tell me that they do that with like at the end of the day instead of throwing the donuts away.
Yeah.
They just are kind of like, hey, any raccoons out there want to eat donuts? I mean, feed them to the raccoons. Come on. Their raccoons will be fat as fuck around that fucking Dunkin' Donuts. They'll probably like tell all their other little raccoon friends, it's like, hey, free donuts, you guys. They'll all be walking up to the fucking window.
I'm gonna remind our drinking buddies here on the show that this is open lines, and that whatever you guys want to talk about, you drop a suggestion or a comment in the comment section, and we can answer any of your questions about any cases or anything that we did in the past, or personal questions. We'll answer those too. And let me remind you that super chats are open. And super thanks will be activated if anybody listens to this recorded. We don't get many people listening to these shows recorded. The main shows they do. We haven't had a single super chat this night. And first super chat of the night would buy Jen a drink. I'll get her
Tom's another drink. Laying on the guilt.
I'll get another drink and fucking...
even though we've already bought the vodka.
Yeah.
Somebody said, since we were talking about raccoons, I feel like I have to do...
Where is that raccoon?
There it is. Yeah. Talking about raccoons.
But yeah, it was super cute. Well, because it reminded me of when I used to work at the newspaper in Daytona Beach. I worked the night shift. I worked from 5:30 to 2:30 in the morning, something like that. And there was a family of raccoons. It was a mama raccoon and her babies. And they lived in the parking lot. It was a huge parking lot, you know what I mean? Because it was a massive place. And if you went out there at night, the raccoons would toddle up to you, the mama and her babies, with their little hands out. You got any food? Yeah. Well, because there was a girl that worked there that would always take her pizza crusts. Like, she saved up pizza crusts and would take them out and feed them. So they were kind of like, they would toddle up to any person with, like, the little hands out. Like, you guys got any pizza crusts or what? But it was, like, super funny. It was super funny.
Guitar Girl wasn't a raccoon. She kidnapped a wombat.
Why would you kidnap a wombat?
I don't know. I don't know if she got away with it.
Where was this at? We don't have wombats here.
I think it was in Australia.
Well, it must have been. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we don't. I mean, wombats are not indigenous to the Americas, as far as I know. Yeah. Unless it escaped from a zoo or something.
I'll tell y'all what. I'll tell y'all something. If we get super chat, I'll fucking grab Jen's boobs. I'll kiss them. I'm looking at that boob. I'm like going,
you wanted to do that anyway. He did that before the show, and he's just like, I'm going to do this. Damn. I was just like, I'm going to do it before the show. Man. Tom really likes my boobs, so that's really something.
I like everything about you, but, you know, the boobs.
Well, that's nice. There's not even a single thing you don't like.
Jen working out, man. Fucking like her fucking booty. Jen, show them those pants you got on. Oh, okay. Show them them pants you got on.
Hold on. I got my little dancing skeleton pants.
Dancing skeleton.
I got dancing skeleton pants on.
Okay. Let me get the camera. She's got these little dancing skeleton bell bottoms. Bell bottoms.
You are ridiculous,
Yeah.
Tom.
Oh, look, we got a super chat.
Hey, see how that
Got a
happened?
super chat here.
No, you put it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. There you go.
Oh, everyone's getting seasick.
All right.
Now I gotta sit down. Where's my chair?
Right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh, my glasses are gone.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So I'm gonna
Pop
keep my
the
side. I'm gonna
77.
keep my side of prom.
Oh, he did it. He did it. He's so rough.
Yeah. Gotta put on a show.
You're hilarious.
Want another drink?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
It's Friday. We're not going anyplace.
No.
As far as I know. As far as I know. It's not. I thought, weirdly, I thought Memento Mori was tonight, but it's not. They're actually doing, the next Memento Mori they're doing, which is our goth night at Barbarella, they're actually not doing a Friday night. They're doing a Saturday night in memorial of yet another one of our scenesters that has passed away at a very young age. Her name is Shelly. I didn't know her super well, but she was like there all the time. She had like not sure how old was Shelly, that girl that died? Not
in her late 30s, I think.
Yeah, like
40s
or 40s. She was
yeah.
younger than us.
40s, yeah.
And we did. I think she just had real high blood pressure. That's what our friend Charisse told us. She knew her a lot better than we did, and she is a nurse, so I guess she would know what she was talking about. But yeah, so they're having a memorial for her. Not this Saturday. This Saturday's just regular 80s, but they're doing it next Saturday. So honestly, I kind of like, if they're gonna do Memento, I wish they would just do it like every fourth Saturday, because it's kind of a pain in the ass like doing it Friday nights. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. I like going out Saturday night. Friday night, I like to just hang out with you guys and drink and not have to go anyplace.
Nobody knows why she died.
Yeah, I heard, like, our friend Charisse said that it was that she had like issues with her high blood pressure, like she had that for a long time, and then she just like died suddenly when she went in for something else or for something like that. But that's what she told us anyway. And like I said, she knows us a lot better. She knows her a lot better than we did. But man, we've had some deaths this year. Like I said, if you weren't here for our friend John died, I guess a couple months back now. He died in fucking Target.
Yeah.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, we were looking for him.
Everybody's looking at him.
The fucking crowd was
everybody's freaking out. Like they had made posters and calling the cops. It's like, where is he? Like he didn't show up at work, and like everyone was freaking out.
Cops knew where he was from day one. They couldn't tell anybody because they hadn't notified next of kin. His parents lived out of state.
Yeah.
And somehow or another, fucking Scott, who's a business owner friend, he owns a fucking bar down in Sanford.
Called the Capitol Room.
Yeah, he's the one that's always fucking coming up with those escorts.
Yeah. That wants to take us to Thailand.
He wants to take us to Thailand, yeah. He wants to take this Thailand as his fucking escorts, his guards.
I guess.
He doesn't want to go by himself.
Yeah, because him and his friend John were supposed to go, and then John died.
Fucking, he says he wants to hook up with a lady boy. He wants the lady boy to just hit him in the booty. And I says, okay, I'll arrange that. Make sure that shit happens. Says, you want me to record it? She goes, yeah, you can record it if you want to. Fucking, it's fucking funny. He's fucking wild. He's younger than me by about a year, but he looks a lot older. He's in bad shape.
And he looks like pretty much completely normal. Like you wouldn't know.
Enormous. He looks like a jock.
You would not know.
He looks like a frat boy. An old frat boy.
But everybody knows because he's been around forever.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's been in the scene
he knows
forever.
the music and knows everything.
Yeah, he went to shows like when we were kids and shit like that. Like he was at all the shows because he's from around here.
Anyway.
So he's been in the scene forever.
For somehow when that dude died, he had him as his beneficiary and he got like almost $500,000.
Yeah, like he told us
like
at the club. He's like, yeah, John had a life insurance. Like he had more than one, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, one of his life insurance policies, he left a bunch of money to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy crap, dude.
They were buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like best friends.
They're both single. They don't have. Well, no. They're both single. They're not married.
Yeah, Scott has a. Is he married to Sam?
No, I don't think he's married to her. Is he?
I mean, they live together.
They're in an open relationship.
I don't know if she partakes, but he certainly does.
I think she's just to get rid of him.
Yeah, she's just like, whatever, do what you want.
Yeah. She knew what he was like when they were...
She's nice. I like her. She comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
But not usually. Like, I see her probably once every 3 months or something.
Yeah, he'll show up. Florida's wild.
He had a different one in last Saturday. Like
I've seen that
he's
one
had
before.
the same one.
Yeah.
For a while. I don't remember what her name is. She's that little bitty dark haired girl.
Yeah. She's not an escort though.
She's just a friend of his.
She's a friend of his.
She's nice though. I like her, but I can't remember what her name is.
I think the one last time is an escort.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
But that's not the usual person he comes out with.
She was eyeing both of us.
That happens a lot with the escorts.
A lot of his fucking escorts are always trying to get us to buy out the contract.
Trying to get us to
trying to switch over to
take them away.
They're all looking for us as clients. Fucking.
It's I don't know. I don't know.
One of them was a transsexual.
Yeah. Yeah, we've told that story before, but if you're new here,
yeah,
that was at Barbarella at the old place at the pickleball warehouse.
Yeah. What was her name again?
Ashley.
Ashley. Yeah, I got a picture of her. He sent me a picture of her. Yeah.
I didn't actually know she was trans. It
took a while.
Well, it didn't really occur to me because I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And I didn't really talk to her that much. It's dark in there. It's loud in there. I'm just like, all right, okay, cool. Hi, nice to meet you, whatever. And then later, I'm at the bar getting another drink or something, and Tom comes over and he's like, that girl,
she's trying to suck my dick.
She tried to suck my dick in the bathroom.
Well, I didn't say girl.
Well, you just said. Well, I said you said Ashley, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, she's trying to get us to go on her fucking, trying to get us to buy her out her contract.
Phantom remembered her name.
Yeah, trying to buy out her contract.
We only saw her that one time though.
Yeah, well, she moved. She moved after that.
But that was funny.
Yeah, it was
because I'm sitting there going, what? I just thought that was so funny that he came out and he's like, she tried to suck my dick.
Yeah. Coming up in the fucking men's room, starting to fucking molest and giving me fucking all kinds of fucking a sales spiel.
She wanted us to buy. Tom's like, well, how much are we talking about here?
I didn't talk about price. That was Ashley. Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know what it is about us. It's just we kind of get this a lot, not just from escorts and stuff, but
gays and fucking lesbians.
Yeah, it's we just people that we don't even know all that well.
Yeah.
That are trying to get in a sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bartenders trying to get in a sandwich.
Yeah. Trying to be the Oreo filling.
The Oreo filling you know between the fucking.
Yeah. I don't. It's happened a lot. So much so that I'm I don't even know what. I don't know what it is.
Well.
I don't know what it is.
Part of it is that there are certain generations of men that are missing. You know what I mean? Especially in the younger generations, they're just playing video games. They don't come out, or they're in really bad shape. So there's an excess of women, and some of them have really high standards. I think most of them have high standards.
Well, you should have high standards if you have any self-respect, honestly.
And I think it's kind of gone the way it goes like it went in China, where the standards are so high, they're willing to share a guy if he has high standards. You know what I mean? If he's of a certain standard, as long as the other woman will permit it,
right?
You know, because the standards sexual orientation now for these younger women is bisexual. That's the standard. At least it is in clubs.
Well, like I said, it does seem like, in my experience, women's sexuality is a lot more flexible. I put the two words together. Is a lot more flexible than, because even chicks that I knew that dated dude, if they met a woman and they were kind of man, I'm kind of into that, they would do that too. They're oh, okay. They might feel weird about it, but not really. You know what I mean? So it's they were a lot more open to that. Some chicks are not, but most chicks are, in my experience.
And you have to consider we're in Florida and we're in clubs.
Yeah, so it's our experience might be skewed. We don't really hang out with normies. I don't really know what they do. Right. So that's a whole different issue. We're just coming at it from where we grew up. Like I said, I grew up from a very early age, in the goth scene, goths, punks, that kind of stuff. So it's and that was always kind of no one really thought much about it. Yeah. They're hey, I just ended up sleeping with this other chick or something. You're okay. You know what I mean? No one really cared. Even back in the 80s, other people cared for sure. Yeah. They would kick your ass if they found out. But it's just because, man, I had a dude, a dude I was crushing on in high school who looked like Robert Smith. He came out as gay later, but he had Robert Smith hair and eyeliner and everything like that. He was super hot, but he got his ass kicked on the reg, like pretty much all the time. Like jocks were kicking his ass all the time because they thought he looked quote unquote faggy. So, and that was in the late 80s. Yeah. So that was like still happening, but
that kind of died out in the 90s.
It did eventually. Yeah, like it was still going on in the early 90s because I remember, but like by the time the late 90s came around, like
nobody gave a shit.
People didn't give a shit. But like I said, in the goth scene, at least in my experience, I'm in Florida, which is pretty rednecky. You know, and I grew up in Daytona Beach, which is very rednecky. But even among the small scene of like weirdos and stuff, very like sexualities were very flexible. Nobody really talked about it. Everyone was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like no one worried about it too much.
Guitar girl from Norway's in there laughing over the concept of getting in a sandwich. She's like, excuse my bad English. No, English is a very flexible language, and you can make up something on the fly. Getting in a sandwich. Me and Jen kind of talked about being in the middle of the sandwich. That goes back years, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just us, though, right?
I know. I've heard that phrase. I didn't originate that phrase.
Yeah. Sandwich.
That's a pretty common.
Just getting
in the Tom and Jenny sandwich.
Tom and Jenny sandwiches. They're trying to get in the middle of Tom and Jenny sandwich. Yeah, they're trying to get sandwiched in between us.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
A lot. Yeah. I mean, we haven't done it. Well, a couple of times. But
it's not regular.
But we've been offered it.
Yeah, a lot.
Many times.
Yeah.
A weird amount of times.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm just like, I don't understand like what it is. I don't know. Like maybe it's part of the reason why a lot of people watch this show. There's something about our dynamic.
Yeah.
That seems to like
it attracts some people.
Yeah, that seems to like attract people. And I can't put my finger on what it is.
I think it's just because we're fun and we're not real judgmental about that.
Maybe
I would say it's mostly girls, but when the guys come, one time it was that was Ashley trying to get in a sandwich.
Yeah.
But other times there's a guy just trying to get me.
Yeah.
You know, like that last one. That guy from Spain.
Oh, yeah.
He friended me on Instagram. He was cool, though. I like the guy. He's young. He's no threat to me.
He was a kid.
Yeah, and he comes
super
up.
cute, though.
Yeah, I got pictures of him.
Sexy accent.
Yeah,
he was from Madrid, I think.
He's from Madrid. Yeah,
he was visiting.
I think he's probably back.
He was looking for dudes, man.
Yeah, he comes
asking us if we knew something.
I'm looking for a man like you. Like me? Yeah. Is you gay? Yeah. And I said, okay, yeah, all right.
All right.
So I'm not gay. I said, those guys over there, they're gay. And he goes, oh, yeah.
And he went over
and I said, tomorrow, not tonight, but tomorrow.
Yeah, because that was a Friday.
Toby's coming. He's like, and I showed him pictures. He's like, okay,
I mean, he's a lot older, but
he'll be here tomorrow.
That's okay.
Tomorrow, okay.
I wonder if he showed up, because I don't think we went that Saturday because we were tired from Friday still. So we don't know if that little Spanish guy turned up.
I'm not sure Toby would have liked him, though. Toby likes tough guys.
Toby's kind of more into big, muscular black men.
He likes big, tough black dudes. Yeah.
That's his type.
Yeah.
Although
I was going to get him a shirt that says I love black men.
Yeah, we saw one.
Yeah.
We saw one online.
And that
he's
bitch
like,
I'm
going to buy that.
That bitch would wear that. That old muscle daddy ass would be out there with that shit. I love BBC, I love black dick. He'd fucking wear that shit.
He probably would.
He'd wear that shit at the club. Yeah, he wild.
Actually, last week he wore a really cool shirt. It was Vampirella, wasn't it? He had a Vampirella shirt.
Real cool Vampirella.
Except it was purple instead of red.
Yeah, and he was in a bondage outfit with Vampirella.
But it was like a really cool shirt that he wore last Saturday. But yeah, so I don't know how that turned out. But yeah, that dude was super cute. I don't know how it's like I said, he was just visiting. He was from Spain. He was visiting some friends or something, and he was just like asking us about clubs and like where she should go and stuff. We sent him over to like hit on there was another like big group of gay dudes that were there, and I was just like, oops, I don't know, go see. That's the only ones that are here tonight, I think, that I know. But it's like go see if you can. He did kind of sleaze over there, but you know what I mean. He was super cute though, like super charming. So, but he was young. He was like in his 20s, I think. But I thought I appreciated his directness. I thought that was very funny. That he just came up to Tom and was like, hey, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, I respect your game. That was pretty cool. High Desert says, I'd love a Tom and Jenny sandwich. Evidently, you're not alone. Like I said, I don't know. I guess I'm not outside of it, so I can't really... I don't see us from the outside. So it's hard for... I mean, I don't know. I guess I can see what people like, but like I said, since I don't see us from the outside, like, I don't really know why people, like, keep... Because High Desert even said, I'd love a Tom and Jenny sandwich.
He said, like, the Tom and Jenny sandwich. Yeah.
And then DVD Dragon said, would you be jam or jelly in a Tom Jen sandwich?
I don't know. Whoever's in there in the middle is the filling.
I would probably...
You're probably the bologna. You're the fucking bologna.
No one wants to be bologna, Tom. I thought you were going to say be the Spam. That would be even worse.
Yeah. I love Spam. No,
I know you do.
Bologna is worse than Spam. Much worse.
I mean, they're both equally bad. I would like to be strawberry jam. Good strawberry jam. Maybe some Smuckers. All these Smuckers.
The tar girl's still laughing. Laughing about the sandwich.
Yeah. All right, I gotta pee too.
All right.
I gotta pee too.
If you guys want to know what Toby looks like, I'll show y'all Toby. I got pictures of Toby.
I mean, you've done that before, but there might be newbies.
Yeah, there's always new people coming in and out. And I don't want to refer him back to fucking... I couldn't even find that place, right? I'll show y'all Toby. Known Toby for damn near fucking 17 years, probably almost 20 years. He's a little bit older than me. Biker. There's Toby. Let's see if I... Okay. Yeah. Them out there on the dance floor dancing. See what one on his... He's got some pictures of him on his bikes. Him in his fucking... his Black Panther costume. Where's the one with it? He had one with him on his bike. There he is. That's Tobe. There we go.
Did it focus?
Yeah.
I can't get in my chair. You're blocking it. I need to get back in my captain's chair. My little Captain Kirk.
That motorcycle's actually not his bike. Now that I see it, that was a bike he was just sitting on. He's got Harleys. That was a Wraith, Confederate Wraith. Very expensive motorcycle. Tom Cruise has one.
We're back to Tom Cruise again.
Yeah.
Well, he can afford one.
They're hand built.
Yeah. Yeah, Toby comes out pretty much every Saturday.
Yeah, that's my bro. That's my best friend.
It's a rare Saturday that you don't see him. Like, if he doesn't come out, he usually is working because he's a nurse. But
yeah, he's a nurse at Orlando General.
He works at Orlando General.
Yeah, but it's funny. You know, my best bro is a gay leather daddy from the club scene.
He's super cool though.
Yeah,
we've known him like a long time.
Long time. He's almost like part of the family.
Well, that's one of the things I always liked about the Orlando scene, and maybe this is true of other cities too. Like, when I lived in Tampa and was going to the castle a lot, I feel like the scene there's slightly more cliquish. Yeah. Maybe it was just harder for me to get in because I didn't grow up in Tampa.
And it was a long time. That was long ago.
Yeah, I grew up in. I mean, that was like early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I grew up in the Daytona, Orlando area. Daytona and Orlando about 50 miles apart, but I was back and forth to Orlando all the time. So it's just kind of like the Orlando scene is very it is like one big family. A lot of the people that come out, particularly to Barbarella on Saturday nights, have been coming out since they were teenagers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, some of the people have fallen off for various reasons, but a surprisingly lot of them have not. Like, a lot of people still come out, like, pretty much every weekend. Yeah. And everybody there knows each other really well or knows somebody that knows that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's comment. Fucking John Gora says that he looks like a heavy from Mad Max. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Papa goes leather daddy. He said, yeah. Yeah. Guitar girl, she's getting ready to leave. Says she's got to get some bacon and eggs.
Ooh, that sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah. I got ham down there, but I have ham, but I don't have any bacon. I got eggs though, a shit ton of them.
I mean, ham's good. You got all that pork that you made. All that
got sausage. Well, no, I don't have that. Yeah, I got carnitas.
You made all that.
But that's not good with
stuff.
eggs though.
That's true. No, I was just like talking about just general stuff that you had.
Yeah.
General stuff that you had. But yeah, that's the thing about I don't know. That's just I kind of feel like, at least in my experience, the Orlando scene was always a lot more open and a lot more accepting than the Tampa scene. Like I said, the Tampa scene seems slightly more, maybe it's not like this anymore, but it always seems slightly more cliquish and like slightly harder to break into. Whereas the Orlando scene, it's like if you show up regularly, you're reasonably cool, you know, you talk to people and you're not a weirdo and stuff like that, then like you'll ingratiate yourself like pretty quickly.
If you know all the music and you can dance, that.
Yeah, then eventually somebody.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you know, I'm kind of reserved generally. Tom is very outgoing and he's very gregarious. Like if somebody new shows up and they like have a good outfit on and like they know all the music and stuff and they look like they don't know anybody, like he'll go and try to befriend them and like see what their deal is, and it's like, you know, do you know anybody?
Or if I don't, they do. They'll come up to us.
Yeah. Like we can introduce you around, like if you are new here or whatever. Yeah. So like eventually someone will do that. If Tom doesn't do that, then someone else will.
Well, I think the word, you know, me and Jen, you know, the word's out that we've been in the club scene as promoters and fucking people that know all the DJs and shit for a long time. We're almost kind of like influencers. So, you know, all the bartenders know us. And like that guy from Madrid came up to me. I didn't go up to him. You know
and
they'll come up to us too.
And if people ask, like we're known as like nice people. Like we're not dicks. We don't get involved in any drama. There's no like.
Everybody's gonna get a fair shake. It doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
If you're good,
like we kind of are known for not being.
Yeah, and and here's another thing is if we hear a bunch of bullshit about somebody, and it's coming from sources that aren't all that credible, we don't take it to heart. Because sometimes these fucking kids will fucking lie on other people about what happened, you know. Because there's club drama.
Yeah.
And me and Jen will stay out of club drama.
Yeah, we generally.
If you're good to us, then we're gonna be good to you. You know, I don't really care.
I mean, unless you're a real piece of shit.
Unless you rape somebody, we know somebody that raped somebody.
We do.
Yeah.
And I do not talk to that person.
Yeah. I don't fuck with that dude.
They still come out, but
they don't fuck with
most people don't talk to him anymore either. You know what I mean? Because he got away with it.
Got away with it, yeah.
But
she was passed out drunk.
We know about it, and a lot of other people know about it too. So most people will not engage.
What time is it? How long have we been going?
It's not late. It's only 9:43.
9:43. Okay.
So we've only been on like 2 hours.
Okay.
It's barely a show.
Is it? It's barely a show?
It's
How long
barely
have we been going? About 2 hours?
2 hours. That's it.
Okay, good.
Like I said, that's like not even.
Okay, Phantom's asked me something. Can you read that off, Jen?
Where? What are you looking at?
Phantom.
Which one are you looking at? Tom, would modern weaponry make easy work of traditional vampires and werewolves instead of a stake to the heart or silver bullet? I think he asked that earlier, but I didn't get to it.
Yeah, I think he did. I didn't answer it.
Well, are we going by like folklore rules?
Yeah.
Because if so, then it wouldn't really matter. Like the modern weaponry would have to be loaded with.
Yeah, if you had silver bullets, then yeah, you could make quick work of a werewolf. The thing is that silver is not lead.
We got a super chat, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. Gave us a super chat. Said here, have some money.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You can hand cast silver bullets. They don't really. They're not very. It's not a very soft metal, so it doesn't really go down the rifling that well. I'm not sure how accurate the ammunition would be. But let's say you have a bunch of silver bullets loaded into a 45 caliber M3 grease gun from World War II that's full auto. All right, you'd be able to make short work out of a fucking werewolf with that, sticking by the movie rules. So yeah, it would probably fuck that barrel up, but it would take thousands and thousands of rounds to fuck that barrel up. So yeah, you could do it.
Here's the thing: like werewolves are marginally magical creatures, right? Because they kind of transform.
Yeah.
But if you just straight up like blew them up into pieces, I don't think they're gonna like reassemble. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it might just not kill them. You know what I mean? They might.
I mean, I could see you blowing up a vampire and it just kind of going shoo and like
Remember in The
reassembling
Howling?
like the Terminator.
Remember in The Howling, if you cut a hand off, the arm would just grow back. They would probably just do that.
True.
They'd just grow back together.
Like I said, once you got magic, it's kind of all bets are off.
But vampires, as far as I know, were susceptible to fire. So you have fucking flamethrowers, you know. So yeah, if as long as you knew what you were up against and you knew the rules, the technology's there, you'd make quick work of them. You can make quick work out of a xenomorph with weapons of today. You wouldn't need those pulse rifles. I've seen the supposed specifications on the pulse rifles that the colonial marines were carrying. It was just a caseless 10mm fucking round that was fucking armor piercing with it's HEDP, high explosive armor piercing round, which isn't very good in something that small. Just a solid round would do the same thing because you're not dealing with an armored vehicle. But yeah, a regular submachine gun would fuck up a xenomorph. It'd kill it. Just
Victor said, "What if you just fed a werewolf some chocolate?" Right?
Yeah.
And Phantom points out this is correct. The werewolf from the Monster Squad reassembled after being blown up. That is correct. He did get blown up. I had totally forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me. Jeff Yarrett said a shotgun could technically decapitate a vampire. Ever see Waxworks? Yes, I did actually.
The thing is, though, is I think silver bullets worked on vampires too.
Yeah, I thought silver worked on anything
it worked
that was
on
like
anything.
a magical creature. John Gora said, I never understood groping someone who's unconscious. That's just strange.
We didn't grope.
Not condoning traditional grope or anything, but it's understandable to an extent. People are weird, I guess.
He didn't just grope her. He was taking pictures of her out of his cell phone and having sex with her while she was passed out.
While she was unconscious.
And then bragged about it.
Yeah. Which, not great.
Yeah.
Not great. That's, like I said, he's still around sometimes. But
we know the girl. She didn't charge him. She just wanted to let fucking that guy up. Bygones be got bygones. She didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Didn't want to go through that shit again.
Which, like I said, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
She knew him. Yeah.
Everybody knows him.
Everybody knew him. Yeah,
like he's around. But he's really the
he
only
took her
one.
home.
Yeah,
she was fucked up. He took her.
Yeah,
home.
She was super drunk, and he gave her a ride.
Gave her a ride home. Yeah, took her to her apartment and did it. He was probably fucked up too, but that's no excuse.
No, it's really not.
I've never been so fucked up that I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this anyway. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you've been pretty drunk in your life, but
no, I know I got manners.
It never occurs to you to do that kind
Worst
of thing.
thing I'd ever do if I was drunk in a situation like that, I was just curled up next to her and fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would have done. Wake up in the morning, hey, what's up?
What happened?
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know. I've known you for a long time. It's just really not in your nature to do that kind of shit.
I like women.
Yeah.
And women that I like, I respect even more so.
Well, and your first instinct, because we've had...
I'm protective.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, your first instinct, we've had friends be, like, super drunk, like, falling down and stuff like that, and your first instinct is, we have to get her home and put her in bed, or so, like, it didn't occur to him to, like, do anything to her. Ooh, let's do this or that.
Yeah,
it's
she
like,
was with me.
Yeah, it's just like, no, let's just...
And we had already messed with that girl.
Yeah, it's just like, let's just...
We'd already done stuff with her.
Let's just put her in bed and...
Yeah, just...
it's just... It'll be okay. You know what I mean? It's like, she's messed up. But
she's, I love you guys. We love you too, baby. Had to take all her clothes off because she peed all over herself, peed down my back when I picked her up.
Yeah.
Threw her over my shoulder to get her out of the car, and she peed down my fucking back.
Yeah, because she was in the backseat of the car.
I was like, oh, shit. She was cute, though, so you
that
okay
was
with
nice.
it.
I mean,
fucking...
well, remember we had to go back, too, because she forgot her purse.
She forgot her purse, yeah.
So we drove to her apartment, and then
we went back.
And then we realized it's like, oh shit, where's her purse at? Because we weren't drunk, we were pretty sober.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, where's her purse at? Oh, she left it at the club. So we had to drive all the way back to the club. It wasn't that far from her, but
by the time we got back, she was passing out.
Yeah. She peed in my car and everything.
Yeah.
And then Tom picked her up and threw her over his shoulder to take her into the apartment, and she peed down his back.
And
he's like, "Oh man, she's peeing."
Yeah, she's peeing down my back, and you're like, "Okay."
And I was like,
"I'm taking her upstairs to her." No, she lived on the ground floor.
She lived on the ground floor
at the ground floor. Took her into her apartment, and fucking, well, we can't leave her like this. We gotta get
because we needed her key. We needed her purse because we needed her keys, obviously, so we get into her apartment.
You can't put her in bed in those wet clothes.
So I'm not gonna leave her in pee. She's gonna get a UTI.
Yeah. So we pulled her clothes off and shit. She's going, "I love you guys." So we love you too, baby. Fucking
we just took all our clothes off and
put it underneath the fucking covers and fucking left. Locked the door behind.
It would never occur to me to take it. I'm not a dude, obviously, but it's like it would never occur to me to take advantage of somebody that was in a vulnerable position like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that some dudes, that's the first thing their mind jumps to, that scares the fuck out of me. Because look, I've been at parties before and I got real drunk and fell asleep. You know what I mean? Who knows what could have happened?
Yeah.
And this was before me and you were a thing, but it was just I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I don't think anything happened, but I don't really remember. Because the dude I was dating at the time, he's like, yeah, you got real drunk and you kind of fell asleep on the couch, so I just picked you up and put you in the bedroom and locked you in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in case. Which is probably what he did because he was a good dude, but you know what I mean? So I don't think anything bad happened. And he was watching everybody. It wasn't a big house. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't get it. Papa says, so if they're cute, they can pee on you, Tom. Well, honestly, if girls are cute, they can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That ugly motherfuckers can't get away with. That's just the way the world works, unfortunately.
I'm gonna show you guys who we're talking about. I was trying to find a picture of just her, but this is the only picture I have on. That's me and her.
Whoops.
What the fuck, bitch?
I don't know, man.
What the fuck, bitch? Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, I see. That's who we're talking about. What the hell's up with this fucking camera, man? How long ago was that, Jen?
Was that...
That was me. That was probably 2014.
That was probably before me and you. Well, no.
We knew each other.
We knew each other, but were we dating at that point?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, so that was probably 2011 or 2012 then.
Yeah.
Because we got together in about mid-2011.
Yeah. See, I knew her before I knew Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
She was one of the first persons I met, her and Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't date her, though.
Who?
Sonia.
No.
Or Angel either.
No. She wanted to, though.
Yeah.
I think they both wanted to.
Sonia was weird about it, though.
But she's constantly trying to get me to try harder. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
But I was like, bitch, I'm your friend. Fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking, if you want to go out with me, just fucking, you know what I mean? Don't make me jump through hoops.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a
She's
game.
weird.
She's a little bit of a game player.
Yeah, she's trying to play too many games.
And Tom's like, nah, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't really play
I don't care that much. Tom's not going to do all that shit.
I don't play games with her anyway.
I think maybe... Is that maybe why you liked me? Because I was very direct?
Yeah. Well, I told you that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture of all three of us.
I don't do that kind of fart and games.
That's all three of us.
Yeah. That was was that Grotto?
That was at the Grotto.
That's not there anymore.
Yeah.
That was a tiny ass place.
Yeah.
A tiny ass.
Yeah, look how pretty those girls are. I got another picture of them. Fucking look at him. Look at him fucking smooching.
Yeah.
Look at him fucking smooching. It was so cute. It was so cute. It was so fucking cute, those two. That was when Jen had red hair. That's her natural hair.
Yeah. But it was dyed there.
It was dyed, but that's not a wig, though. That was Jen's real hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day my real hair will look good again.
You're growing it out.
Instead of a mullet.
You're
It's 3 different lengths now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wearing wigs all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have... We see Sonia every now and then. She doesn't come out that much anymore.
She was out a couple weeks ago.
She was out probably a month ago, I want to say. Something like that. She comes out to Barbarella every now and then.
She was happy to see us. She had to go back to her husband.
Yeah, she's got a husband. She's got a kid, too. I mean, the kid's... she's not a kid anymore.
Yeah,
she's like a teenager, but...
Yeah, she's almost 18, I think.
She's doing the family thing, which, okay, fair enough. That's what she wanted. But, You can tell she misses it.
Yeah, she missed us.
She's our age.
She's happy to see us.
She's our age.
Yeah.
She's in her 50s. But,
Yeah, you wouldn't know by looking at her. I think she's older than me.
Well, no, she got mad at you when you said that.
She's not older than me?
I think she's older than I am, but I think she's younger than
Just
you
a little bit younger than me.
So she's like in
maybe
between
a year.
us,
Maybe a year then. Right.
Because I'm only like 3 years younger than you are. But yeah, we have an interesting relationship, me and Sonia.
Yeah.
Because all three of us would hang out like all the time. Like we used to pick her up every weekend.
Yeah, and we'd party and shit.
And go out and party. And she was like, the weird thing is like she was into you, but not, I don't know. It's like, it's hard to explain. Like you said, it was almost kind of like she wanted you to like do all of this stuff.
Yeah.
She wanted you to jump through hoops, like you said.
Yeah.
And you were not willing to do that?
No, I wasn't going to, 'cause she wanted me to simp.
Yeah.
She wanted me to simp.
But then the thing about it is that if you had simped...
Then she wouldn't have liked me.
Then she would have been like, fuck you.
Because she don't like that. She actually likes guys who are kind of mean.
She likes dudes that are kind of mean to her.
Kind of mean to her, yeah. But I knew her. I knew what she was doing, and I was like, nah.
Well, and a couple times, because I got into some kind of heart-to-heart conversations with her when we were both drinking. Because you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, she seemed to have some self-awareness about that. Yeah. Like, she knew she had some issues.
Yeah.
Like, as from her upbringing or
she was
whatever.
She was attracted
to dudes that would abuse her.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And she kind of knew that. She liked dudes, like, the meaner they were to her, like, the more she liked them.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, she wanted dudes to, like, simp for her.
Yeah.
But then if you did that, she would think you were pathetic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But she seemed to know that she was like that, and she seemed to be, like, kind of conflicted.
Yeah.
So she did have some self-awareness about it, at least, like, the conversation that we had, but...
I treated her as an equal. She liked that, but she wanted me to simp. I'm like, I ain't fucking simping. You know what I mean? Fucking... And like I said, Jen knows how I am. I would almost rather have like a fucking cool friendship with a woman and we're hanging out and stuff than to sleep with her. Because a lot of times, my background, sleeping with them would fuck it up. That would mean now it's on a time limit. You know what I mean? And now you have to meet some kind of fucking expectations by a certain time limit, and this chick's gonna fucking go. She's gonna dump you, or you're gonna dump her for misbehavior. So. Before I moved here, man, back when I was younger, I was basically a fuckboy. We didn't have that word today, but
that's what you were.
Yeah, I liked fucking open relationships and fucking. I was like, fucking.
Nothing too serious.
I was poly. You know what I mean? I just I didn't.
He didn't want to get anything like commitments or anything.
No, not really. Now I got married once, but that didn't work out. That was only like for about a year. You know what I mean? Fucking, that's nothing compared to me and Jen's relationship. And fucking. Getting married was a mistake, I think. Yeah, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that.
Back then,
not to that one, but I didn't know any better. I was in my 20s,
Yeah, I mean, I got married in my 20s too, which like it was okay for a long time. Yeah, but it's like
that would have gone bad eventually.
I wouldn't go back and not do it, because we had a lot of good years. I mean, I was married 14 years, and it didn't really start getting shitty until 11, 12 years in. So it's just kind of like, so I had a good time, like, for a long time. So I wouldn't go back. I don't regret it. I don't, I was only 22 or something like that when I got married, but I don't regret it. I wouldn't go back and undo it or nothing like that. But, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe... I never feel like I missed out on stuff. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really date much at all in high school or after. I was pretty much a loner. I didn't really have the patience for hanging out with other people. I still don't, honestly. But, so I didn't really do a lot of that. So I got married and I'm like, okay, well that's sorted out then. And I don't have to worry about it anymore. But then like after a while, I was just kind of like, man, it's like, it wasn't any one thing. It was just kind of like, I don't know. We just kind of like grew apart. He's not a terrible person. He was actually a good person. And it was just shit built up. And I was just like, man, I don't really want to do this anymore. And honestly, when it was kind of starting to go downhill, like I met Tom, and then I was kind of like, oh, like I kind of saw possibilities for like other things. Because I kind of like to go out clubbing and stuff, and my ex-husband would go with me and stuff like that, but he was a little bit restrained, and he would just be like, well, don't drink so much, and don't do this, and don't do that, and he was always kind of trying to tell me what to do, and I was kind of like chafing at the bit a little bit.
It was weird. He was from Wales. I thought those dudes were fucking wild-ass drinkers.
Well, everybody over there is but him. Yeah. And actually they all used to make fun of him
for being that way,
for not drinking as much as that, because I went over there, I lived over there for a little while. Holy crap, those people can drink. Yeah. They would just wake up and drink all day.
Yeah, they'll drink more than a lot more than an American.
They drink a lot more than Americans do. In general, at least where I was back then. But he was not like that, and like I said, his whole family made fun of him because of that. Because he was a little bit, he would drink, but he was kind of straight-laced. And, so I don't know. I guess it just started to like, and then I was kind of like, after I got divorced, I kind of, I had met Tom and I was kind of into him, but I was just like, people were like, well, you need to play the field a little bit, because I never really did that. So I did that for, I don't know, like a year and a half, and that's kind of fun, but it's like, I'm not, like, you liked being a fuckboy. I didn't really, it was fun, but it's like not something I'd want to do long term.
Being a fuck girl does not fucking offer as much to a woman as it does as being a fuck
No,
girl.
it's really not.
Women pay a much harder penalty.
Yeah, it's not really the same.
For the guy, there's no penalty as long as you have a certain mindset.
Yeah, it's not really the same.
So,
it's not as fun for us.
Because when you're a fuckboy, you're basically a confirmed bachelor long term. You're like, this is just going to be fun. I'm not taking any of this seriously. Yeah, she's cool. I like her. But, she's going to go run off and get married to somebody else. That's not for me. It's going to be... Now,
there's lots of other ones.
There's lots of other ones. I'll just rotate out to another. And it was just a mindset that... It wasn't just me. A lot of guys have that mindset. I understand it. In a way, it's a defense mechanism in a certain way. Because you can't get hurt doing it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
women know that that's why dudes are like that.
Jen put up with a lot of my shit. She just waited and waited and waited. And if you make friends with a dude, she did it the right way. I fucking was listening to a sexual psychologist. He was asking the question. Some woman was like, "How do I get a man?" And he fucking says, "What you do, how you get a man is you fuck with it. You fuck him." And he's like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, don't make him wait. Fuck him. And fucking fuck him every time he comes around. And if he leaves and goes fuck some other chick, just wait. He'll come back and you'll fuck him again. And eventually he's going to realize that you're dependable and the other ones aren't, and he'll be around." Yeah, and that's actually that's the winning strategy.
Yeah, I wasn't as calculating as that. I was kind of, I came to the thing where
I know what she's saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and, just so she doesn't have to defend that.
I'm not defending. Okay. I was just explaining. I don't have to defend shit.
Yeah. She did it the right way.
I'm not ashamed of anything.
She did it the right way. She did it the right way because a dude will continue coming back if he's being rewarded. If he gets punished, he won't come back. And it's just human nature. And that's what happens to why a lot of these women don't end up with guys. She doesn't like a motherfucker, but she thinks she's hot. She'll fuck him that night. Because he don't matter. You never see that dude again. Fuck him. I'm just going to fuck this dude. Very common. Because she doesn't care. She meets a guy she likes. All of a sudden her standards goes up. She won't put out to him.
Well, this one might.
She's like, well, he might not take me seriously.
This might be a long term,
Yeah, he might not take me seriously.
I get it.
Well, that just fucks the whole thing up. No, you should have fucked him as fast as that other dude. Because if he finds out you fucked that other dude, fucking the night that he met you without jumping through all those hoops, he's gonna be like, you fucking bitch. I thought you liked me. That's it's gonna be like that. All right, fucking. And
I understand. But I understand like why women think like that, because I'm a woman and I would also approach things that way. But I can understand why dudes would see it a different way.
That's the guys see it because it's totally different. So you'll fuck a random scumbag, but if the guy's good, if he's me, you fucking gonna put me through all these tests? Fuck you, whore. That's the fucking thinking.
Yeah, I know.
You're trash.
But see, like I said, it's just I didn't really think. Like I said, I liked you, and I was just kind of like, well, I think he likes me back, and I think if I wait around long enough, he'll probably realize that.
I liked Jen the day I met her.
I was like,
she was married though.
If he doesn't, like I was like, well, that would suck, but it wouldn't be the end of the world.
When I met Jen, she was married. She was very cute and very, very sweet, and she was knowledgeable. She was very smart and very easy to talk to. She was chubby. but she was still very cute. But I didn't talk to her much. She was married. One day she showed up. She was single, and so we hung out more.
Yeah.
I came back a couple months later and saw her, and she was fucking skinny. She was looking cute as hell. And then all of a sudden, we became like best friends and shit. And we would talk about all kinds of stuff. But we were both dating. We were dating other people too.
Yeah.
We weren't, we were just scenesters, and we became business partners, basically for club stuff first, and fucking we became like good friends first.
Yeah, we would hook up every now and then.
We would hook up every now and then, but we were also dating other people.
Yeah.
She would come up with new guys. Some she could land some good dudes. I was friends with them. She had this one big tall guy. I liked him.
Yeah, I liked him too.
Yeah. And but then eventually, over time, we said, fuck it, We hung out so much. Why aren't we a thing? So we became a thing. And then it really got around to the club that we were a thing. And then everybody was like, well, fucking finally.
People used to bug
everybody
us
else
about
could see it. Yeah.
It's like, would you guys please just go out already?
Yeah.
Holy crap. It's like you guys are always together.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. We were always together.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Fucking, and I'd be like, where's Jen? Because we were friends. We were friends first. And really, your relationship has to be based on that. If you can't be friends with that person, you can't fucking marry him. No.
Yeah, I kind of feel like people... I think that's maybe why a lot of marriages don't last.
It's too much based on romance.
Well, it's too much based on...
romance and lust.
And looks.
It's attraction.
Like physical attraction.
Yeah.
Because it's like that ebbs and flows. It's like the person's their bodies are gonna change over the years and stuff like that. You have to have some kind of foundation to base some shit on.
You gotta have attraction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's unimportant. It is.
But that's only one part of it, and that's not really the main part of it. I've been with some fantastic fucking looking women that you're very attracted to. When you get to know them, man, there's nothing to them. There isn't like you're like, yeah, I don't really like her that much though. You know what I mean? So then the attraction doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, they look good, but you get sick of them real quick. It's the whole package, and you got to be friends with a person, or you just can't marry them.
Because you're going to be around that person.
You'll be around them all the time.
All the time. And especially us, because I work at home and he's retired, so it's like we're around each other
all the time,
24/7. Pretty.
We got a big house though. We're not up each other's ass all the time, but
like he's hanging out in the bedroom or in the kitchen or whatever, and I'm usually in my office. So
I'll go for motorcycle rides. I'll be cooking. I'll be fucking doing lawn
so it's
work.
not like we're just like constantly up each other's
doing
asses,
lawn work and shit.
But you know what I mean? It's like
which reminds me.
What?
I gotta fucking rent. I gotta go to Lowe's and rent one or Hope Depot, and rent one of those pressure washers. The housing commission wanted me to pressure wash.
Oh, are they crying?
The driveway.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You told me.
And while it's here, I might as well do the windows.
Yeah, if you're gonna fucking rent the thing. Yeah. The driveway does kind of look like ass. I mean, one of these days, and we can't afford it now, but it's like when we can afford it.
I checked with a neighbor though back over here. They got the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's everybody.
So they're sending it to everybody.
Yeah, everybody's
like clean your
everybody
fucking
who looks.
So it's not just us.
It's not just us.
Because I was kind of getting like paranoid.
Yeah.
So I was like, our driveway does look kind of shitty, but
the concrete isn't uniform color. It's white and black, and white and gray, and white and gray.
And it kind of has cracks in it and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a long. We have a long ass driveway. It's really long.
Guitar Girl, what kind of bike? What kind of bike you talking about, Guitar Girl? I don't know what you're referring to. She just comes in. What kind of bike?
Phantom asked if we went on a honeymoon.
No, she was
we didn't.
We were talking about the first wife that went on a honeymoon, I think. No.
Oh, for your first marriage?
Yeah. No, me and my first wife, actually, we were kind of broke. And we were just happy to get married. We were just having fun. We had a little gothic wedding. All our little fucking friends showed up. And it was just on the coast of Mississippi. It wasn't really a big deal. Goth people fucking aren't really into this fucking, like, normie traditions of fucking, big expensive weddings. You spend $30,000 on a fucking wedding and a $20,000 fucking ring or something, you know what I mean? Fucking, me and Jen forgot the rings for our wedding. We're like, oh, yeah.
We showed up at the court thing, and it's like we filled all the forms and stuff, and they're like, you got ring? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we forgot all about that.
We bought some later, but it's just kind of like, I thought that was kind of funny. They were like, oh, yeah.
Rings, our relationship doesn't have anything to do with rings.
Yeah.
That's pretty superficial shit.
Like, we've got them, but it's just kind of like, it's not
just
really,
symbolic shit.
Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal. Well, it's just, like I said, we'd been together for so long
Yeah.
We were together for like 13 years or something like that,
Yeah.
like before we got married. So it was just kind of like...
Our relationship got forged the natural way. It was just hanging out and fucking liking each other's work and liking each other as people.
Yeah.
And fucking telling the truth. We never lie to each other. She's never one fucking lie to me. Never.
No.
Fucking.
Not that I can remember.
Not tell her anything, you know.
Yeah, we've told each other even uncomfortable shit.
Yeah.
But I think that that's good. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's...
I know what this bitch is thinking. She knows exactly what I'm thinking. Pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're together, we experience the same thing. We see something. I know what she's thinking about. She knows what I'm thinking about. We just look at it. Yeah, so fuck this
Well, shit, man. It's like a couple times we've been watching a movie and you're like, hey, that looks just like... And then I fill in
She
the
knows
end of
who
the
it is.
sentence.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I knew exactly what you were
Yeah.
going to say. I knew exactly what you were going to say. But like I said, there's something kind of... I don't know. There's got something kind of cool about that. It's kind of comforting.
Yeah. She said, I thought you had a bike. I got 4 bikes.
He's got 4 bikes, yeah.
Yeah, I got two Buell XBs. One of them is a fucking XB9 Lightning. The other one's an XB12 Firebolt that's been race modified. It's got a solo tail on it, fucking fiberglass fucking tail and seat on it. Then I got a Honda CT70 bike, totally rebuilt as a fucking as a high performance monkey bike. Shot brand new candy apple paint on it and everything. Bike weighs 50 pounds. It has about 20 horsepower. It's fucking 160 cc's. With the gearing I got on it, that little 50-pound bike can almost go 70. But you can't go anywhere. It's got fucking 1/3 of a gallon of gas. 1/3 of a gallon of gas in the
You
tank.
like putter down the road a little bit and you're like, whoop,
You just drink that tank dry.
out of gas. Well,
You can't go anywhere. You just drink that tank dry in fucking 10 miles, you know.
It looks good though.
It looks great. It's just decoration. I got it out in the living room.
It's in the living room.
I drained all the fluids. It's got oil in the engine, but there's no gasoline in it. And it's sitting in there. I rode it around for a couple months and got tired of it. It's just a decoration. It was my dad's motorcycle, but it's now a cafe racer. You know, it's fucking totally maxed out. Aluminum wheels, fucking Pirelli Diablo, fucking fat fucking tires on it. Inverted front end fucking shocks. Fucking dual disc caliper front. Brakes. Super bike bars. LED headlights. I mean, it doesn't weigh anything. You can pick it right up. And then the other thing I have out there that's also in the living room, I haven't finished it. And I probably will never finish it. It was a 1972 Yamaha RD350 two-stroke bike that's been resto modded with modern wheels. I got the rolling chassis sitting out there, and I got the motor downstairs in the garage. The motor I was going to put in it, it's ready for a motor. But there's some machining you have to do to get fucking sprockets to line up. I got to make sure the steering fucking bearings are right. I don't think that I have the spacer that I have in there is actually right. But I was going to put a fucking two-stroke Banshee motor in it out of a fucking racing four-wheeler. And then I was going to fucking pack that bottom end. Do two-stroke work on it with expansion chambers. That bike would have made about 100 and something horsepower. And that rolling chassis with the fucking motor in it and everything probably only weighed about 200 pounds. That's how I like that thing. And I won't finish it, I think, because I know if I finish that bike and ride it, it'll kill me.
And no one wants that. No.
Yeah.
Especially not.
That bike will be very radical if I actually did it. It won't weigh anything. It'll have a lot of power.
So yeah, don't
And
finish
it'd be
that.
two-stroke blowing smoke out of the back of it with a very narrow power band. It'd be like a light switch. It just hits you real hard. And I was like, man, I never really should have fucking built this. More if I put a real tame fucking RD350 motor in it, it would be safe to ride, but it would be boring.
Tom's
by
a
the
little
day's
bit of a
standards.
daredevil.
Yeah.
Which kind of worries me a lot, I'm going to say, but...
There's no fuel injection. And two-stroke needs...
Even every time, like, he goes on a bike ride, like he went earlier this week, because he had to go get his glasses fixed, and he's like, I'm going to go ride around and go to Starbucks and stuff, and every time he goes out, I'm always just kind of like, man.
I got to keep myself limited. I don't want anything over really 100 horsepower anymore. I like a lot of torque.
Yeah.
Like 90 foot-pounds of torque that 1200 makes.
Guitar Girl
So
is
it's just a lot
very
of shit.
excited. She's like, "Oh my god, Buell, awesome!"
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
I got 74 Suzuki GT 750.
Okay, yeah.
Water bus. I love those Buell.
Yeah. I got 2 of them.
Yeah, she's got 2 Buells. That's what he usually rides.
Yeah. No, the 150 is a 4-stroke. It was started out as 70 cc's. It's actually it's 180 cc's. Originally it was 70 cc's. I got another motor I got another motor in there though that's 180. It makes 20 horsepower, 1 cylinder. It looks beautiful. If I were to take that to a scooter competition, I'd win first prize, just in the looks and everything, and the modifications that were done. I built it in the house. Shot the fucking paint myself, the compressor down the garage.
Yeah, it looks great.
Candy apple green.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Phantom says,
I could bring it in here. Y'all want to see the monkey bike? I can bring it in
"You're
here.
gonna go get it."
Yeah.
Phantom says, "So will Monday's review be companion? Just wondering so I can watch it again." It probably will be. I mean, I want to see it, and I'm willing to pay $10 to see it. So, it probably will. And I can't think of another movie, so, you know. He's going to bring the bike in, because it doesn't weigh all that much. He's going to bring it in from there. It's just in there in the living room. Yeah, we just have it as a decoration. Like we have, on the upstairs, we have like a little, it's just, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's just like a big open area. I guess it's supposed to be like a game room or something. But it's just in there. We got couches and a TV in there and shit like that. Oh, he's bringing it in. It's all squeaky.
Yeah. It hasn't rolled in a while.
Yeah, I can tell. It really is cool looking, though. Like, you got all the fucking... The paint job. Don't pull all my shit out. There you go. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Let me move my chair. See?
That's it.
Okay, put that in the background. All right, I'm gonna go pee while you do that. And get another drink.
It's a bike right there. It's got a megaphone style exhaust on it. Aluminum wheels. All polished stuff. Look at that. Dual disc fronts. One disc. There's the other disc. Oil cooler above the engine. All braided cables. Gas tanks in here. It's only 1/3 of a gallon. Metal gas tank. And it's got the tail off of an old 70s Honda Cafe Racer. Built all that from scratch. Well, assembled from scratch. Shot the paint myself. But it probably weighs 50 pounds. That's it. That's it. Here comes Jim. Make another drink? All right. See what people are saying. No, I don't have two 750s. The Buells are, one is 1,000 and the other one is 1,200 cc's. Yeah, this one's a 4-stroke. This one's a 4. The 2-stroke is that's out in the living room too, but it's too big to bring in here.
That was the one that's not done.
Yeah, it's not finished. It's just a rolling chassis, and then I have the motor. But most on the 2-stroke.
That's not the middle.
Yeah, here. On the 2-stroke, the
sorry everybody. Everyone's getting seasick.
On the 2-stroke, the made expense will be to have those expansion chambers made.
Right.
There's very few dudes that can make expansion chambers,
And they have to be made properly. If not, you won't have any power band to ride with. It'll just be like a light switch, on and off.
John asked if we ever had a Vespa.
No. No, I don't ride scooters.
Is it just squeaking it back in?
Yeah, it's the brakes.
Watch out for Pookie. She's sitting in the hallway like a weirdo. I don't know why. She's just kind of sitting out in the middle of the hall.
Yeah. Pookie wants to know why is the bike in there?
She's like, what is happening? You guys are changing my environment.
Yeah.
You guys are changing my environment. I'm pretty sure both Pookie and Bambi were in the litter box at the same time earlier. Because I looked, where my office is, like straight ahead right there, is my bathroom. And that's where the litter box is. Like next to the toilet. And I saw Bambi coming out the litter box. And then a couple seconds later, I see Pookie coming out of the litter box. Because they'll jump on each other. When one's in the litter box, like the other one will like try to ambush them when they come out. So they kind of make a mess when they do that. Because like they'll get scared and like fucking leave litter everywhere. I was like, you guys. Oh my god. Wish they'd like use the one downstairs because Tom cleans that one. I have to clean this one. You know what I mean? Oh well. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, everybody said that's a pretty cool looking bike. Yeah, I mean, he did a really good job, like, restoring that. I love the fucking paint job on it. He was just, the first time he went to visit his dad, not this last time, when his dad passed away, but the time before that, when he had the heart bypass, his dad gave him that bike, and he was like, man, I'm going to restore it. Like, I'm going to do the paint and everything like that, and I think he did, like, a really good job on it. It looks really cool. He tried to teach me to ride on it. I'm like fucking terrified of like riding motorcycles. I can drive, but I don't even like to drive, to be honest with you. Anytime we go anywhere, I make Tom drive because I'm just like, I just don't even want to anymore. But he tried to like teach me to ride on that, and even as slow as that is, I was just like, yeah, no, I can see killing myself on this, so I'm just not gonna do it. I think he was kind of disappointed, but I was like, dude, I can barely like walk around without running into the wall. So riding a motorcycle, that's kind of beyond my capabilities, I think. John Chris says cats are natural born conservatives. They don't like change. It's just kind of like they are. I don't know, like ours are. I don't know if they don't like it, but they're always kind of like want to be in the middle of it. Like, what is going on? You know, whenever you're doing something different, like we just got a new like TV stand for the TV in the living room, and we're putting that together, and the cats both come in and is like, "What are you guys doing? Do you guys need help with that? Can we sit in the box?" It's that kind of thing. Or, you know, whenever, like, Pookie was freaking out because I was like, I took all the sheets off the bed so I could wash them this morning. And she was like, what? Why are they all off the bed? What's going on? Then she jumps on the bed and runs around. And then, of course, when you make the bed, she's like, I'm just going to sit on here. So we had to, like, make the bed on top of her. And then she's like, hey, let me out. You know what I mean? She's trying to help. I get it. But you know what I mean.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a video. Starting in here. Make a video here. Of the other bike.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a good
see.
idea. So then you can play it on here. Guitar Girl said you guys are awesome. Oh, thank you so much. We try. We're just kind of, well, we don't try. We're just being ourselves. Being our drunk ass selves. You know what I mean? What's next? He's bringing his Camaro. He doesn't have a Camaro. We have a Mercury Grand Marquis, though. Yeah, I don't think we could fit that in the house. It's way down on the first floor in the driveway. It's too big to fit in my office, for sure. No, he's taking a video of the other bike because it's too big to bring in here. But it's, like I said, I remember him buying that. It's just, he bought that, like, years ago, and he just never got around to finishing it. And like I said, from what he's told me about it, I'm just like, I kind of don't want him to finish it because if he rides it, like I said, I still live in terror of him like riding the bike around and something happening, you know. I do.
Yeah.
I worry about you.
All right.
So you did take it?
Yeah. Take
What happened?
forever.
I don't know what to tell you. Was that somebody on the pole?
There was me on the pole.
Oh, that was... that's the video that Charisse took.
Okay, look.
I didn't.
I guess
I didn't
it took
see
it.
that.
I guess it took it as a photo
Oh, you fucked
instead
it up.
of a video.
video.
I gotta go do it again. I'll make it another one.
Did I see that video?
Yeah, it is.
Did I see that video that Charisse took of you on the pole?
I'll show it.
Okay.
I don't think you saw it.
Yeah, I don't think it. I remember her taking it because I saw her take it. Like I saw it in person,
Yeah.
but I didn't see the video that she took of it. I did see her taking a video of it though.
There we go. Video.
She was laughing her ass off. Laughing her ass off.
Okay.
Tom got on the stripper pole at Barbarella
Yeah.
last Saturday,
I'm gonna start it over.
and Charisse got a video of it. And I had forgotten, like, until I just saw it come up on there. It's like, oh yeah, you got on the pole. Forgot all about that. Because the thing about where Barbarella is now, it's in a place called the Axe Trap, or it's just called the Trap, really, but it's like an axe throwing place, but a bar and a restaurant, and with a big dance floor. And it used to be an iconic Orlando landmark, which was a strip club called the Booby Trap, which has been gone for many, many years. But it was iconic because you could see it from I-4, and the building had two big, like, concrete titties on the top that were pink. And they tore that building down, and that's where the Axe Trap is now. But they kept, like, in the spirit of the Booby Trap, in one corner of where the dance floor is, they have a stripper pole and, like, a little neon sign that says Booby Trap. And, like, so it's like a photo opportunity. You can get on the thing and you can take a picture and it says Booby Trap in the background, like in pink neon. But that's why I thought that was kind of cool that they kind of honored this. Because everybody knew the Booby Trap that grew up in this area. It was such a tacky-ass building. And you could see it from the highway. Two big tits on top.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's going out the door here. That's going out to the den. It's our living room. There are the motorcycles. That's the two-stroke right there. It's an RD350. Resto modded. It's actually an H1 tank from 71. Shit, what happened?
I don't know.
There we go. What the fuck? That's it. Now I'm coming. This is the walk back into where we're doing the show.
Little kitty water fountain.
That's Jenny's closet in there.
Yeah, and also the snack bar.
And the snack bar.
Where the ice machine and the booze
Jen
is.
doing the show.
Hey, there's me.
Yeah.
Hey, there's me. Phantom asks, do you think Brian Koberger, a.k.a. the Moscow Sorority House Slayer, will be found guilty or not guilty? I'm not really sure. I know we did a show about that like a while back, like a month or so ago. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence, but I don't know if it'll be enough. I think he'll probably get guilty. Probably. But I don't know. It could go either way. You know? Because I kind of feel like most of the evidence is circumstantial. I personally think he is 95%. I think he's guilty. But we'll see how it goes. I don't really know who else would have done it. You know? There comes a point where, yeah, a lot of the evidence is circumstantial, but when so much of it points to you, I mean, it's probably you. You know what I mean? Now, Phantom thinks he's going to be found not guilty due to lack of evidence. That's a possibility, too. I personally think he probably did it, but like I said, not a lot of evidence, a lot of it's circumstantial, so we'll see.
Okay.
This is one of my Buells. That's the 1200. That was from 9 years ago. It still pretty much looks like that. That's at the old house, though. That's my 1200.
Yeah, that's our old house.
Yeah. I'll show you the 1000. This is the 1000.
That's the blue one, right?
There's the blue one, yeah. Although it's not blue anymore. It's all black now. But the air box is still blue. That's my 1000. Out of the two, I actually kind of like the 1000 the best. It's got a better riding position. And it's just, I don't know. It feels meaner. Although the 12 is faster. It's just not quite as fun.
Which one did I ride on?
You've ridden on both of them, I think.
Yeah, probably.
And that's my old dash. I got a new dashboard for it. These videos are like 9 years old.
But like you said, they still pretty much look
Look still pretty much the same.
Because you've had those forever.
Yeah. That was me making seats and stuff. I got on my other channel, I have a lot of me working on stuff. Messing with ECM programming. Using ECM Spy. Doing things like setting throttle position adjustments and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, ooh, the light's getting all weird and shit.
Yeah.
It's alright. It looks normal though. I was trying to like adjust it. Guitar Girl asks, what's the retail price of one of those in the USA?
Of what and what?
Of a Buell?
A Buell? It depends on what model it is, what the year is, and fucking what's been done to it, and who has it.
Yeah,
Because a lot of the Buell guys are in a community on Buell.com, Buell.com, or badweatherbikers.com.
There we go. Fixed.
I'm well known on Buell.com. They've seen a lot of my work. One of my bikes would resell pretty high because they know I took care of my shit. A real shitty one, an XB, a real shitty one you can get for $3,500, $3,500, more or less, $3,000. A good one's going to be more like $45,000, $5,000. If it's turbocharged or supercharged, more like $6,000, $7,000. There are some badass bikes out there. It all depends on what's been done with it.
Yeah, Guitar Girl said, wow, that's cheap.
Yeah, they're
They still make those, right?
no, they don't make.
No, I was gonna say.
Well, no, Buell's back. It's just that they're making another bike now.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think they made those.
Yeah.
Anymore.
The one to get now, if you want to actually ride the bike and have it reliable, you want an XB. All right, you can get one of those 4,500 here in Florida. Florida is motorcycle heaven. But if you want like a Buell collector, what you want is you want the S1. And that was I think mid '90s. The S1 was beautiful. It used a real Harley Sportster motor that had been pumped up to 1,200 cc's, and it probably made about 85 horse, a lot of torque. It was fairly light for what it was. The S1s are the classics. They didn't make very many of them. A few thousand. They looked really good. They vibrated apart, but they came up with a bunch of aftermarket stuffs, and Harley shops can work on them. I'll show you an S1. Every now and then you'll see an S1 appear in good condition for like $5,000 to $8,000. That's an S1. That's what you want. It's just hard to find. There's another custom S1. Good handling. Good reliability. Once you've had things worked out. They weren't real reliable stock, but they came up with some aftermarket solutions. They always had wiring problems. Because there's a lot of vibration and things like light bulbs would break before LED, and you had wiring problems. This is a beautiful S1 right here.
Guitar Girl said you can triple that price in Norway.
Oh yeah, Norway.
It's like you send, I sell.
Yeah.
Wonder how much it would cost to ship it to Norway.
This is a classic S1. That's a real good one. Oh yeah, in places like Norway and Scandinavia, a Buell would be worth like 3 times, 4 times.
Well, I imagine like the import and the shipping costs and stuff like that.
Well, they didn't get many of them.
That's what yeah.
Most of them went to the United States, and they didn't make that many of them.
But like you said, the reason why there's a lot of bikers down here is because Florida is like really good for motorcycle. It's very flat, and there's like a lot of like kind of open country roads.
Yeah. That's basically a stock S1. That's what they looked like when they were stock. They were very pretty for the early 90s.
Phantom says customizing a bike is cheating. Psych.
Yeah, it's cheating.
That's what I mean. It's the exact same fucking argument.
Same fucking thing. Yeah.
It's the same fucking argument. To be honest, I never really understood like people getting all up in other people's business about what they're doing to their own fucking bodies. I'm like, is that your body? No, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. None of your goddamn business what they're doing with that shit. Like, you know, we were saying the other day about we were watching some porn star or something like that, and she had like had her lips done.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, you know, personally, I don't like that look, like the, you know, that fake lip look. It was a very big thing in porn in that era. And
Still is.
And it still kind of is. Like a lot of women have that. Like I don't like it. I don't like the look of it, and I wouldn't have it done. But if they want to do it, it's none of my fucking business, is it? And I'm not gonna give them shit about it. Like I said, it's not my face. So I was like, I don't care. But yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, Guitar Girl, it's your Buells tended to be 1200 cc's. Low compression. Most of them were air cooled. There's no radiator. And it was push rod operations like on an old V8 car. The piston is actually a V8 Chevy, or excuse me, V8 Ford piston, and the connecting rod was all based on that. The fucking Harley Davidson Sportster fucking crank was based on a cut down Ford crank. So it's almost like a car engine. It's very low compression. They sip fuel. They get very good gas mileage. They make a lot of torque. You know, 85 foot-pounds, 70-something foot-pounds. Horsepower is going to be capped out on a standard Buell motor around 100 horse. The XB, a little higher, maybe 103. Because it's got a top-breathing motor and there's no push rods on an XB like mine. It's a hydraulic lifters, you know. It's the same basic design. They just tweaked a lot. But in those bikes, you didn't need a lot of horse. The gear ratios and all that torque was all about from going from a standstill to 90 miles an hour. That 0 to 90 was real good. It's just you'd leave a Hayabusa behind you easily. But as soon as the Hayabusa spools up, you know, it's got 4 cylinders and fucking a lot higher compression and liquid cooling. It just fucking boom. Once they spool up, they just fucking walk away from you. But stoplight to stoplight, low compression Harley style motors, you know, are real quick off the bottom. It's just because it's all that torque, and they don't burn much fuel. You think, well, 1200 cc's, man, that's very inefficient. You're only making 100 horsepower. There's not very many RPMs. It doesn't turn over very much, and the fuel injectors are not putting a lot of fuel in there. It's just bang, 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 bang. It's not like these little 600s where it's thousands of little crackling and pops, little lightning bolts, They can fucking roll real fast, a lot of high RPM, good top end acceleration, on a Japanese style 4-cylinder. It's really what you want for a racetrack. But for a stop, streets, cities, out here in the back country and shit, with a lot of stop and go, you want torque. You want more torque than horsepower. You're never really going to go above 100 mile an hour anyway.
When I was talking about the porn star with the weird lips, Phantom said, "Let me guess, Claudia Marie." No, I don't think it was. Who was? It was. It was a video that Tom
that was an old
got
video
for me, like an old one, because he's like, "You'll like this one because there's pegging in it."
Yeah, there's pegging in this one.
He's like,
"What was that chick's
So
name?"
here, I got this for you.
I'm trying to remember that. I can look that up.
And it wasn't egregious. I'm just saying that it was obvious that she'd had lips done, but it wasn't like some shit that I'd seen. You know what I mean? But like I said, I would never. I don't get on people's case about shit they do to their bodies, because that's their body. And if they think that looks good, then okay, more power to them. Like, I personally might not think it looks good, but I'm not them, so none of my beeswax.
That was Veronica Avlov.
Oh, that's who it was. Yeah,
Veronica Avlov. Yeah,
that was a pretty good video, actually.
I thought you'd like that.
He's like,
abusing that poor man.
He's like, here, I got you. What? He was into it. What are you talking about? That was no poor man.
Yeah, abusing that.
The whole setup of it was
he was going to a specialist.
He was going to like a therapist.
Yeah.
Because he wanted so badly to be pegged, and he thought there was something wrong with him. And she's like, well, let's just peg you and see what happens. I don't know what the setup was exactly.
It didn't matter. By the time all that shit was going on, me and Jim were fucking.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't really watching it. But it's just kind of like, even afterward, we were kind of watching it. I'm like, man, look at her go. So, but he was into it.
Giving the camera nasty face and shit. She's going. Yeah, like a fucking.
And Tom thought that was like so funny. He's like, look at her facial expression. I'm like, well, that's the facial expression that you give when you're just like pegging a dude.
Yeah,
that's your standard pegging a dude facial expression. Man. That is also.
She knew she was violating.
That is also the face.
She knew she was violating.
That I would make.
Yeah, she knew she was violating.
You know what I mean?
That's fucking funny.
Like, you just got to make that face. You know what I mean? She's like, yeah, get it. You know what I mean? It was just like super funny. It was super funny. Guitar Girl says, well, Tom and Jenny, it's very late here in Norway. I gotta go to sleep. Take care.
All right, wait,
yeah,
sleep.
Yeah, you take care too.
Look, fucking get 13 o'clock and Thomas Ross on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll give you some more motorcycle fucking shots and shit on Instagram.
Because I'm under I don't think I have a personal Instagram. I just have a 13 o'clock account. I have a personal Facebook and a 13 o'clock Facebook, but I don't have a personal Instagram.
My Instagram has an icon. Anybody listening can friend me on Instagram. Hold on, I'll show you guys. I got a number, I think. It's a name and a number.
I don't remember what yours is. Is it Thomas Ross something?
Thomas.Ross. And then there's a number. Okay, hold on.
Can you have thought of something easier to remember?
Here it is. Hold on.
Just saying.
I'm going to show you.
Like, I'm on your thing, but it's like, I don't look on your shit, so I don't know. I'm not on Instagram all that much.
Okay, here it is. I'm pressing the wrong button. All right.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
If you want to friend him on there.
See that icon? Me in armor. It's Thomas.Ross. That's all lowercase. 3158.
Yeah, because, like, remember, was it last Friday's show?
Yeah.
That you discovered that my account, which is 13 o'clock or 13 o'clock podcast, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know, was following that girl I hate.
Yeah.
Because you were like, well, it says that you're following. And I was just like, what? How did that happen?
Yeah.
I must have done that when I was drunk. Because I would never follow her on purpose. So it's like after the show, you guys, I went in there and like, I was like, I don't know how that happened. Not like she doesn't ever post anything anyway, I don't think.
Yeah.
Not like I would know.
No, she doesn't come out anymore.
Like I said, I don't go on Instagram, so I wouldn't know if she posted anything or not. Like, I go on Instagram, like, to post shit for the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, teasers for the upcoming show and hey, here's the show that we just did, like, here's the link and all that other kind of stuff. But it's like, other than that, I don't really go on. I don't scroll through it or anything. I don't really have a lot of time to scroll through social media, honestly. You know?
Yeah.
I'm doing other stuff.
I'm going back to the channel.
I'm usually working or, you know, doing my graphic design shit or working on my book or watching movies or something like that. So I don't do a lot of doom scrolling or nothing. Every now and then I'll scroll through Facebook or Instagram just to see what everyone's up to, but I don't do that for that long. Just to make sure I'm up on everyone's news.
Hugo asked me, what do I think of Harley Davidson moving to China? I don't think they're moving to China. Nothing. I don't know anything about that.
So the big question...
I don't think they would do well in China.
Big question is, Tom, how do you feel about lip injections or lip fillers?
Oh, no. Somebody asking me that?
No, I'm just... I was saying because we were...
No, I think it looks good. I think it looks good as long as it isn't extreme. You know what I mean? They got... Okay, you know Veronica's, like the ones you saw the other day?
Yeah.
Hers was medium, actually.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't
medium.
egregious, but you could still tell.
You could tell. That was about medium.
Done. Yeah.
I've seen
it
some...
didn't look bad. It just, looked obvious.
I've seen some of them that's, like, lightly done. It looks good. It looks good. I've noticed it's an older chick thing. You know what I mean? If you're young, don't do it. You do it to older women.
And don't go crazy.
You don't go crazy, right?
I mean, like I said, it's your body, dude.
Well, they have like a bimbo fucking fetish thing where the girl's got big fake titties and big fake ass and big fake lips and
like if that's your niche,
it's
then
like
okay.
a fetish thing, you know.
I was wondering about though because, like I said, you know, everybody can do what they want, and it's just because I kind of, you know, think about like, you know, our friend Pinky who she has
some of that
porn and she has like enormous tits, but it's like that's kind of like part of her fetish stuff that she does like on her videos. But it's just like that's something that you're doing to your body that you have to, even when you're not making videos or not making content, like you have to live with that all the time. Like when you're going to the grocery store or sleeping or just doing regular shit. And it's just kind of like, I don't know if I would want to go that far.
I have noticed that the girls that are into those extreme body modifications with the lips and the tits and the ass and shit, a lot of them are lesbian. Okay, so it's kind of like that's part of like a lesbian scene, a hyper feminine thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of like, you know, they got gay guys in the fucking bondage scene that fucking do silicone injections into their dicks. They got these fucking huge fucking fire hydrant fucking useless dicks. It can't really get hard. They're always kind of hard-ish. You know what I mean? They got guys like that running around. They're going to the fucking BDSM festivals in Germany and shit.
Yeah, which, like I said, I get
Saw
it.
a damn documentary about the dude that had that.
That's right.
Remember that guy?
Yeah.
German guy goes on the fucking bus in the middle of the festival and shit. His shit's just fucking... He's wearing fucking Speedos and shit. And he's like in his fucking leather daddy outfit with his Speedos. And the gay guy's looking at it and goes, oh my God, oh really? Really? And he pulls it out.
He's like, yeah, really.
He's like, oh... But it's too big. It's too big. And he's like, but it's a fetish thing.
Yeah, because like you can't. I mean,
I don't think that dude could use that.
Like I said, in day-to-day life, you
Yeah.
can't really get much use out of that.
Yeah.
But like I said, everyone can do what they. If that's what you want to do, all right.
He's not trying to turn somebody on. He's turning himself on with that shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm
That's what
saying.
he's doing.
He's not doing it for other people.
No.
He's doing it for himself.
A lot of those girls that do the big high caliber bimbo fetish, they're turning themselves on with fucking hyper femininity.
Like I get it, but it's like to me, I don't know. Generally I'm a pretty low maintenance motherfucker, so it's just kind of like I don't like anything that's too fussy or that takes too much time or trouble or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like I'll go up to a point, but after a certain point I'm like, this is too much of a pain in the ass. I'm not having it. Like it's not worth it.
You could do light lips; it would look good on you, probably. Just don't do a bunch of it.
No, I wouldn't do a bunch of it.
And I can get it. It's hyaluronic acid.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have any experience with it though. That's the deal.
Yeah, I'm not real.
I can give injections, and I could probably find out what the dose is and what the injection pattern is for different looks. I could do it.
Yeah, I know you could.
But it would be trial and error, you know.
I mean, I trusted you to pierce my nipples for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I could do it.
And you did a good job. So
getting that stuff it's not that expensive.
which is crazy when it's kind of crazy when I talk about it because you had never done that any piercing before.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again.
I would not. Yeah, no.
I don't think I'd do it again. Fucking, I was kind of.
I don't blame
I got it done. Did a good job, but I didn't like how it felt doing it. I felt very uncomfortable doing it.
Neither did I. I didn't really like. How
I could feel her
either.
pain, and I didn't really. I was like, oh man, this is kind of.
Yeah, I had a hard time, but I kind of feel like you had a harder time. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say that because it hurt.
No,
a lot.
I was feeling it with you, and I was just going.
But that made me
man.
feel even worse.
Yeah.
Because it's like I knew you were like really upset, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit, this is a bad situation." Like,
But I
all
couldn't
around.
just stop what I was doing. I had to get it
Yeah,
done.
you had to like finish it because you already started it. And I didn't want you to stop. I was just like, "Yeah, we got to get this done." You know what I mean?
think guys that are more experienced with it, and I talked to a guy who did a bunch of them after I did the shit. You know, because I didn't know him at the time. Part of it is the confidence. You need to do it with speed. They go, and
you have to
done.
kind of just get it over with.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Because
And he
like
says-
when
he
you did the
said-
first one, it's like it seemed like it took forever.
Yeah, because I was
Like it didn't. It
because
was
I
only
didn't want
like
to
a
hurt
minute
you.
or
I
two.
probably had I just boom done
And just did it real quick.
Just
It
did it
probably
real
would
quick.
have been.
Yeah, and then slipped the fucking ring in, slipped the bars in behind the needle.
Well, had I known what I know
Yeah.
now, I mean, one thing I wouldn't have sat up. I would have been
Right.
laying down the whole time because I was sitting up at first, and he got it like about halfway through, and I said, I'm gonna pass out
Yeah.
because that's I said I'm gonna
Yeah.
pass out, so I really need to like not do this right now.
I showed it to him, and he's like, "Dude, that's a good job." That's because
Yeah, you did do a good
They're
job,
straight. And you set them in deep.
and they
'Cause
still
they're not
look good.
going. They're not going through the nipple. They're going through the areola.
They have rings in now.
They got
Like
rings.
I had bars for a long time, and we just put some rings in the other day.
Yeah.
But they're like kind of thin rings
Yeah. I knew what I had to do. I just didn't know what it was going to feel like.
because you never done it
Feeling all
before,
that shit
right?
cracking and popping.
And he was like, "Oh,
I was like, oh
no.
man, this shit's hard, man. I thought it would just slip in and out like butter.
No.
Because, I give myself injections all the time. It's just like butter. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's kind
That
of
shit was
different.
like cracking and popping, and then
Yeah.
the needles are big, man.
Like I said, nipples are
Yeah.
made for like
Chewing
little
on them and
little
fucking
babies
sucking
chewing
them.
on them,
Yeah.
like for long periods of time. So it's like they're kind of like fucking galvanized rubber.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
was like going through rubber.
Yeah, Victor said, "Is that the same guy that injected something synthol into his dick, and it looked like a giant Chipotle burrito?"
Yeah, that's probably the same guy.
And dudes would fuck his dick like it was a flashlight.
Yeah. That's him. That's him.
Oh yeah, I guess if it got to a
Yeah.
certain size, I guess that's
Yeah.
what you would do.
Dude would take his dick and fuck him on the other.
What, he was just fucking his urethra?
No, it was like his. It was so big, his head could push back inside his fucking foreskin.
Oh, I gotcha.
So he
Okay.
was kind of like jerking off on his foreskin in there. Now they didn't show that in the
So it was
video.
like a pocket pussy?
kind of like a pocket pussy, but reversed.
Like a reverse pocket pussy. Okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
You know what
Like
I
for
mean?
a second, I'm like, wait, are they sticking this dick in his urethra?
What he was doing is basically, you had this big fucking synthol fucking dick,
Right.
uncircumcised. Dude puts his dick on the head of his other dick, and then he pulls back on the guy's foreskin and fucking kind of like pulls his foreskin over his own dick
All right.
and then back, kind of like that. Yeah, that's right.
So
it's
they
that
made-
same guy.
They made it work.
It's that same guy.
So that guy's famous.
I don't think
evidently.
I don't think they showed that in that documentary. I don't think they could get away with it. But I think he talked about that. That's how he had sex with it. Because it was too big to go up, fucking, and it didn't look like it could get very hard. I don't remember if they showed it all the way. It's been so long since I've seen it. I don't remember if they blurred it out.
We might
in the
have to watch
documentary.
that for again for.
I don't remember what the name of the
for
documentary was. It was
scientific
something that
purposes.
just kind of came up on.
I'm sure we could probably find it.
I think it might have been Netflix.
But now I'm kind of interested.
Yeah,
Well, as we were
dude's dick was probably 4 inches in diameter, that big around,
Yeah.
and about that.
And I kind of
Maybe
feel
not.
like most dudes would not want that in their butthole.
They got size kings out there.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying there's not.
I'm not sure he could penetrate another dude. Didn't look like he could get that hard.
Well, that might be another issue.
I think it was mostly just a thing of worship. And I think if I remember correctly, his balls were huge too. I think he had injected his balls and a bunch of stuff.
I
into
seem
his
to
balls.
remember huge
They were like the
balls
size
also.
of fucking bowling balls just hanging underneath there.
All right.
He's walking around with all that shit.
I mean, fair enough.
Fucking.
He wanted to be the dude
Germany.
that was famous for having giant balls.
He was German. He wasn't American. He was German.
A giant. Not to generalize, but the Germans are into some freaky shit.
Yeah,
every time you see like super super freaky porn, it's almost always German.
Yeah, the girls are fucking big. They got some girls that fucking specialize in like extreme fisting and stuff, where they can fist themselves up to the elbow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, you almost had to be a contortionist to get it done and shit.
Yeah, I don't really see how you.
And they can just fucking punch their own fist into their own booty hole. Bam! And they're like famous for that shit. They do it on StreamMate.
Yeah.
But they come out with videos and stuff. Videos leak.
I punch myself in my own booty hole.
Just punches it. It goes up, making all kinds of noise and stuff. And then they're pretending like it hurt. But I don't think it did, though.
Well, after a while, it probably
I think
wouldn't
totally
anymore.
just
I kind of
it.
feel like you get used to it.
I think they know what they're doing. Yeah. If somebody else did it to them, it probably hurt, but they knew it was coming.
Well, yeah, see, that's another thing, is that it's a lot different when you're doing shit to yourself
and somebody else
than when someone else is doing it. Because when you're doing it yourself, you know exactly what to expect. Yeah. You know what you're doing. When somebody else is doing it, you're not really sure when exactly it's going to happen. So there's always like that element of uncertainty about it.
Just talking about, okay, we probably ought to fucking shut the show down. A lot of people are
probably it's getting to be like 11 o'clock. All right, yeah. And, whew, getting kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight, you guys. Yeah. Probably the Monday movie review will be companion. That's what I want to see. Yeah. I mean, we can rent it. Like I said, I don't mind paying $10 to rent that. That's fine. So, and I really want to see it. So we'll probably do that for Monday, unless something else happens. But it'll probably be that. All right. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you for your super chats. And have a good weekend, everybody. And we'll see you guys again for the movie review on Monday night. Good night.